Anti-derivative Jill.
Can I offer you some tea?
Good tea. Nice house.
Would you make me some of that Plomeek soup?
Welcome to Jill's.
Greetings and felicitations.
Me, what's up, Doc? Jumping without a parachute? Kinda dangerous.
Hello and welcome to Plomeek Teatime number 106, where we will take a deep dive into the 1988 film Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So we're going to take a wacky rabbit, his alluring wife, and a tortured detective who's lost his way, and see what kind of movie happens from that. How did they make this work so incredibly well? It was an incredible delight for me to watch when I was just a little kid, and maybe could have possibly influenced me to want to draw. And I used to want to be an animator, although I never really pursued that. But it's almost even better to watch now, to marvel at how beautiful it is and how it worked so well, how it aged so well, how it really how it made everything so believable to me when I was that little kid. I loved all these classic cartoon styles. I always watched Looney Tunes and all that old stuff. And so the idea that these cartoons could possibly invade reality in such a powerful way, I don't know, just a natural way, because of course they'd done stuff like this before, where you'd walk into a cartoon or something, but it always felt really stiff. It didn't really feel like you were there in the cartoon, and this did make it more believable. I just appreciated how they managed to do that technically. Even more impressive is how funny it still is, and dramatic in all the right ways. And so I'm glad to be here today to talk to Scotty R37 and you about this movie. How are you doing today, Scotty?
I am so jazzed. This is a movie that I revisit probably twice a year, and this has been an extra.
Nice. Wow.
I love this movie so much because it is one of my favorite film noirs, and it's also one of my favorite comedies. Like, this is a perfect movie in my mind. I can't give it enough of the pluses when it comes to A pluses. Everything about it is great. And the reason that I think it is so great is the same reason that I think the Muppet Christmas Carol is so good, is that Michael Caine sells how the Muppets are because of how deathly serious he is in his performance. And I think Bob Hoskins does the same thing here. In fact, all of the live action characters, there is no question to the logic of tunes. I think that this is appropriate to talk about on your channel because this is like fantasy, but science fantasy. It's a mashing of genres. I think that this is an amazing movie. And if anybody doesn't like it, you can contact Anti-Derivative Jill on X at Antiderivative1, and all of the complaints can go there.
Well, yeah, or they could say so in the chat and tell us what you think about this movie, and we
Don't
will
forget
talk
to like
about
and subscribe.
It that way also. I forgot about that. There. And yeah, well, when I was a kid here, I was waiting for the Bugs Bunny and Tweety Bird cameos, and so it did. I was enjoying Roger Rabbit, but I was definitely in for the cameos. And
absolutely. That's what got me in when I was a kid. Like, this came out in 88. I think this is one of the first major VHS releases. So I never saw this in theater. I saw this on VHS. And this was amazing watching this. I wore out the tape.
And it's interesting you mentioned the puppets because this movie, even though you don't see them, there are puppets everywhere to help the animators figure out how to animate over this. The all the production notes on how they animated this, it seems like it should be impossible, but
Yes,
they did it.
yes, and believably. Like it looks. This is the same thing when I first saw a hoverboard in Back to the Future Part 2, and I was like, I want one of those. And then I saw this movie, and I know I was a little older, but I was just like, I want to go to Toontown. Can we go there?
Right? Why not? Well, once you pass the age of 7, you can separate reality from fiction, but you
Hi,
know
have we
what?
met?
All right. So, but
What's going
even
on in the
then, I
chat?
was thinking, well, before I do that, I was looking for a video to go along with the chat before I talked about it.
Oh,
Where's
sure,
the
sure.
video? Because DJ Knight says,
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Wow.
"Oh yeah, why not get right into that?" That's what everybody thinks of with Roger Rabbit. So you can't get away from her.
Well,
DJ Knight.
and we're
Oh,
going to
go.
be showing stills of the movie, and so you're not going to actually be able to see the subtle nuances of the animation. But this time when I watched it, I got the opportunity to watch some of it with the audio commentary, and they talk very. You know what? I'll wait until we get a picture of Jessica before I start describing the intricacies of her animations.
And that's okay if you're not able to see all those intricacies right now because this live stream might influence you to go watch the movie later, which is also a
Yeah,
good thing. Brinko Walker says, please subscribe, hit the bell, share, hit like, and select live chat. And oh, DJ Knight's already done that. You're in there too.
what's the haps,
And
yo?
Bone is here.
Hey, Bone.
And not Brian says, oh, I can't do it. Please.
I used to be able to do that.
You can't do it now.
No, different teeth.
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And Franco Walker says, I knew nothing about this film until it came on TV in the 90s and I fell in love with it instantly. Oh, I'm glad it finally came around for you. And Gorilla's
Yeah.
Random Thoughts is here. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Wow, I know. I'm dead
Gorilla.
naming you. Gorilla's Censored Thoughts. I just always see you as random. If you ask MSNBS, I don't, what, who?
It's a play on MSNBC because they are BS.
Oh,
So,
right. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? They would say, source close to the office, aka the homeless guy out back, digging in the dumpster, said it was our president.
yeah, see, it's funny because
Trump?
it depends on which channel you go to, but you could replace Trump with Kathleen Kennedy and it would still make sense.
Okay. Thanks, Gorilla, for hanging out.
Damn
And
tunes.
there's a lot to talk about with this movie. I find myself all over the place with it, but I guess let's just start the slides and
Yeah, let's go with the slides. But I love Gavin Blackburn. Damn tunes, which is one of the most beautiful character introductions. He doesn't say damn, but when you see Eddie Valiant for the first time, he's like, damn tunes. Love it. You immediately know where that guy is coming from. It's great.
Tunes.
Anyway.
And then he takes a swig of his.
You got that clip, you weirdo.
And then he takes a swig of whatever brown liquor he's got with him.
Yes, man's an alcoholic. We'll get to that.
Yeah, and this movie really talks about that alcoholism. Kind of makes fun of it.
Yep. Well, we'll get there.
Well, okay, I didn't even know there was a novel, but nobody cares about it because they don't really go by it at all. They just take the characters from it.
Yeah, like I've heard of it, and apparently the author wrote a sequel as well. But yeah, it's very, very different from the movie. But I've never read it.
This movie was very successful. Sometimes we talk about movies that failed and became cult classics. Well, this one just succeeded. It only cost $50 million to make, which was really expensive for an animation at the time. But of course, this was far beyond a regular animation. This was insane and impossible, but they did it, and it grossed $350 million worldwide. Adjusted for inflation, that would be $942 million. So very nearly in our dollars, almost $1 billion movie. So we've got Warner Brothers collaborating with Disney. So Disney, this is a Disney movie under their Touchstone banner.
Yes. And apparently they didn't know whether it was going to be a Disney movie or a Touchstone movie until like the very last minute. And it is produced by Steven Spielberg as well. And the entire reason that they got any of the Warner Brothers cartoons, or I know Betty Boop is in here. I don't know. Is Tom and Jerry in here? I don't remember if I saw.
I don't know. Well, there are so many packed characters all over the place. I didn't particularly see Tom and Jerry, but that wouldn't surprise me if they did show up.
It'll be, if you got the slide of everybody at the very end, all the tunes at the Broken Wall to Toontown, then they'll show up. And so we can do a sort of Where's Waldo at the end.
Yay.
But I still got it, Eddie. Boop, boop, be-doo.
I love it. Oh, I love that Eddie only likes Betty Boop.
Right. He's set up as this character who he's been harmed by a tune, so he acts like he doesn't like any of them, and then he talks to her like she's his best friend.
Or a person, even.
Yeah, a person. Right. Like it's just normal. Oh, I'd like to welcome Kat to the live stream.
Hello.
Oh, and one thing we didn't do is talk about when we first watched this, but it's difficult for me to say when I first watched it because I was very small and I don't know who or what was going on when I first watched this. So, but I think it's probably one of the first movies that had live action elements at that under age 5 that got me to sit there and watch the whole thing almost. I don't know if I made it all the way, but that was. But I saw it several more times as I was growing up. Anytime I saw it on TV. So, what about you, Scotty?
Oh, like I said, I got it on VHS and wore out the tape. I loved it. I didn't get the opportunity to see it in the theater, but loved it. Kat, when did you see it for the first time?
Oh, probably as like a 4 or 5-year-old in the early 90s. We had the
perfect.
videotape too, and wore that tape out, and I absolutely love this movie. And they did such a good job at blending, animation with live action. And I actually prefer the way the animation looks in the live action realm than what they do today with modern, typical 3D CGI. I think this is a bit more. Well, strangely, I find it's more immersive because it plays into the fact that it's animated. It's supposed to be cartoonish and fun. They don't have to look super lifelike when you put them in the live action world, and it's a very unique look that I haven't seen repeated in other films.
Yeah. Oh, it's a technical marvel in terms of, and it sets up rules. Like there's Jessica Rabbit doesn't have a nose. Roger Rabbit doesn't have shoulders. Like everything.
She has a nose depending on what angle you look at her. Sometimes she just has nostrils, but sometimes if she turns and she pans around, she does have a nose.
Well, there's a protrusion, but it wouldn't necessarily. It's not very well defined. But I'm just saying that it is all perfectly, I don't know, different from the real world. Because you're right, Kat. They would, if they did it now, it would be like, well, she has to have a nose. People won't believe a person without a nose. And it's like, it depends on which angle you see Bart Simpson. It's like, does he look good in profile? No.
Yeah, it's like I read an article today where somebody was pointing out that, oh my God, Disney characters don't have fingernails. And it's like, who cares? It's like, It's animated. It's fine. Same with how all cartoon characters pretty much only have 4 fingers. Well, technically 3 fingers and 1 thumb because it's easier to animate. And that doesn't bother people either, even if the animated character is supposed to be human.
Ren and Stimpy used to make fun of that all the time, where everything looks like a cartoon, but then they do a close up and it looks all real and gross, and
yes,
and then you do see fingernails and things and hair. Gavin Blackburn says it was hugely hyped when it came out. There was a massive buzz around it. Luckily, it lived up to the hype. Yeah, the movie starts as a completely a cartoon before it brings us into the real world, and I think that's a fun way to do it.
And I don't want to say it's one of the first, because there's also, Abbott and Costello meet the Wolfman or Frankenstein or whichever one. But like this is one of those first mashup movies where you get every cartoon character in the same place, or at least the big ones. You get oh my God, when Droopy showed your floors, sir. Like there's just so many there's so many studios and characters, and you don't know who's going to show up when. Oh, I love the chaos of this movie that is so tightly scripted into what could have possibly been the third Chinatown movie. We'll get to that later.
Well, and to your point, the little animated GIF you have in the upper corner, that's the only time Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse have appeared in a movie together. It was fantastic.
Probably the only time they ever will, and outside of fan fiction.
That was something Robert Zemeckis alluded to, because he said they had a script for a sequel, but unlike in the 80s when the studios were more willing to cooperate, they said one of the biggest hurdles was getting them to cooperate now to let them do that again.
Oh, no. That would be cool.
It's so funny with the Zemeckis movie, and it's like everybody, you'll see on websites and places all over the internet, and it's like Back to the Future 4, Back to the Future 4, and it's like, no, if I want a sequel to any Zemeckis movie, I want a Who Framed Roger Rabbit 2.
And I think even though, sadly, Bob Hoskins is no longer with us, they could still make a totally new story with a different character for Roger a different human character for Roger to hang out with, and still have it be entertaining and unique.
They could. And I like that they picked who they picked, because if they would have picked someone who was a full comedian, they would have tried to compete with Roger, and I like the balance.
And this is apparently the most violent Disney cartoon. And they even say in the commentary, Frank Marshall, by the way, says, we would not be able to make this today because it's too violent. We would be throwing hatchets at our little brother's crotches.
Well, that's not... Yeah, well, that's what Disney would say, but
yes,
what the reason why this is good is because they emulated Warner Brothers, which Looney Tunes cartoons were this violent all the time.
Yes.
This was totally fine. But and people who watch Looney Tunes didn't throw knives at their siblings. That's
no.
To say.
What? But back in the day, people were afraid of selling Superman costumes because kids would jump off of buildings or whatever. Although that's probably an urban legend.
No, it's not. Nope. It's not. I've had a friend who did that, but I think that's just bad parenting. Like you don't talk to your kids about the difference between reality and fiction. What's wrong with you?
Little Timmy, you're not a cartoon rabbit.
Brogu says, hello, everyone. Hello, Jill.
Hey,
Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Yes, a fantastic Friday. And I'm saying that to everyone. Last time I was accused of only saying, hope you're having a wonderful day, just to Jill. I know. Well, yeah, there was yeah.
That's fine, dude.
We did have a panelist who was making light of that. I don't know why that's a particular joke he always goes for. Matt Bryan says, saw this movie on my first ever date in the theater on Christmas Eve, 1988. Magical time. Wow. Yeah, that's really lucky. That your first ever date was such a good movie.
It's so funny. But then this is also such a sexy movie too. It's a good first date movie.
It is.
It is.
This is also one of the few films I can think of where the changes to the source material actually benefit the story than hurt it.
Did you ever read the book, Kat?
I did. A long time ago, but it was
I wasn't expecting that.
It was much darker and it was a lot more vulgar. And it's like that wouldn't really, kind of like when you heard that when Tim Burton first shopped around was first looking at the script for Beetlejuice, nobody wanted to make it because it was super, again, dark and a lot more vulgar, but then they changed it to have a more family-friendly appeal, and it actually was much better than it otherwise would have been.
Well, if you go back one, the portly gentleman yelling about Boyd's, Roger. What is it? What is the what is he supposed to have instead? Instead of the birds?
Stars.
Stars. The script says stars. That is the producer Joel Silver. If you go over to the Phantasmagorium show, we're currently reviewing the Matrix films, which he produced alongside many classics like Lethal Weapon. What else? Come on, Joel Silver. He's a titan of producing.
I like the idea that he's not just playing himself as a producer, but his personality in this scene is very Joel Silver.
Yeah. And then Baby Herman.
Old Man Bird says, this is a friend zone movie. It's too engaging to make out at.
True.
Yeah.
You want to pay. You'll be paying attention when you're watching this movie. It's that good every time.
Oh, for sure. Old Man Bird. It's good to see you. But come on, you watch the movie and you share the experience together. You don't necessarily have to not watch the movie while you're heavy petting.
It sounds like
Daddy's daddy.
you're practiced in this multitasking affair.
Oh, yeah.
Maddie's daddy says, I have a drawing of Roger Rabbit signed by both the animator, Andre Deja, and Christopher Lloyd. Oh, nice. That's amazing.
Oh, I remember Christopher Lloyd's character terrified kids everywhere in this movie.
Yes, it terrified me. I was one of those
It
kids.
terrified me too.
Well, and there are a couple of Star Trek references or crossovers in this movie, Christopher Lloyd being one of them.
Of course, yes. We got Krug here.
I love Baby Herman. He is, quite frankly, my favorite. Seeing a crass baby. What the hell, Roger? I'll be my trailer.
It is funny for him to go from the innocent baby he was pretending to be in the cartoon, and then he's himself.
And not only that, but also like they had to film this cartoon in one take. Like you open up with a cartoon and then you pull back and you see that this is how they made cartoons.
It's a movie set. And all these cartoons are actors. Old Man Bird, what are you doing? Thank you so much. I appreciate your donation today. Thank you for supporting the channel with a 1999 super sticker of a Bathsheba with a trophy, a golden trophy and stars sprinkling all around.
Sorry,
I hear myself in the background.
No, I'm just looking at what this sticker is. I'm sorry. Oh, there he is. Yeah, no, totally. It's Champion Samurai.
My randomizer picked this video for you. Let's see if I can find it.
Sure.
Yes. Somehow appropriate for this movie.
It's okay. Old Man Bird and I both appreciate green chicks.
I just learned one of my coworkers has a brother who animated that Baby Herman short. Wow, that's Maddie's daddy. That's amazing. And
one of the best introductions.
Yeah, he's just there. He just says tunes. Just watching.
I love the soundtrack of these scenes too in the studio. Like that jazz background. It feels like you're just there, you know. Perfect time capsule.
I think that's a great setup of the environment. And who does the music?
Alan Silvestri.
Yes. So
again, collaborator of Robert Zemeckis. This was all filmed in London. These were all on Elstree Studios in London because they could get more stage space. And most of these actors are British, doing incredible, and that's how they got Bob Hoskins. And the reason
he's doing an American accent, yes. Good job on that.
But even R.K. Maroon, that's an English actor.
Yes, he needs help. He needs to hire somebody to prove that Roger Rabbit's wife is cheating on him, so Roger Rabbit can stop being, all distracted. He's Roger Rabbit is taking too many takes. He's losing the studio money. They're spending too much money on this cartoon because he's distracted from that 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 problem. So so our Eddie's hired to look into this affair. So it just starts off as a infidelity mystery and then it turns into a murder mystery. So that's fun. And I want to say hello to Canadian Spider-Man.
Hey, Canadian Spider-Man.
And who else is here? And also, he says, I got your email and I'm at a loss for words. We'll chat soon, buddy. He says to Old Man
Great.
Bird. Oh, that sounds nice. Always good to get an email.
I hope it's good news that he's referring to as a loss for words.
It sounds good. It sounds good. I have a feeling it's a good thing. So there were a lot of people that were going to be Eddie that didn't end up being Eddie. There's they just
Really?
list everybody. Yeah, they list.
Who do you got?
Harrison Ford. Chevy Chase was like no. Bill Murray.
No.
Didn't even get asked. Like he has a weird method that he has to I guess you have to jump through hoops of fire to get him to see an offer. I really don't know what his method is.
Didn't I hear recently there was an interview and it was to Eddie Murphy and it was like, did you ever regret turning anything down? And he said, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? They showed me the script. I had no idea what the hell it was. And then I saw the movie and I was like, fuck.
Yes. And lots of other people were considered too, but those are the ones that were actually asked. And so we'll stick with those. Canadian Spider-Man says, I've been offered a place to come and visit and stay in Texas for a trip. Love Texas. And I will definitely stream live. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Canadian Spider-Man is traveling to Texas. That's fun.
That sounds like a great field trip.
Oh.
You're allowed to say boner. Say boner. Hey, Greek letters. Jessica Rabbit gave me a boner when I first watched the movie.
All right.
Good for you, sir.
You are our person who will say that.
Booger. I got fired from a radio station once for saying boner, and I won't let it happen again.
No, you said plenty of other things on our channel.
It's true. It's true. And I haven't been fired yet. It's great.
Yeah.
I love
yeah.
Sorry, Kat. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, I like that they're even whipping out the old tech there with the processing the phone in the office. It's really cool.
And Gene Coon over calamari. Oh no.
You gotta love the alliteration of the tabloid pages of the 1940s. Seeing cooing over calamari.
I also like they're alluding to the things that studio heads used to actually do, trying to rile people up and play the press for this type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She's just out eating dinner.
Sort of like how relevant to this weekend, the reason the Academy Awards got created because Louis B. Mayer was tired of people barging into his office complaining about this, that, or the other thing. So he said, I'll give him something else to fight over.
Yeah. I love it. I love, even though it is pretty much a Disney movie. It's like, it's Dumbo. We got him on loan from Disney.
They work for peanuts.
They work for peanuts.
And so, yeah, it was a Dumbo jump scare.
But it's also like, it's interesting to look at, and I'm not saying this because this is where I pull my, it's woke, but there is sort of an idea of the segregation between humans and toons in this era. And there is a bit of a civil rights thing in terms of, really? You're just like, are we okay with paying Dumbo peanuts? And it's like, well, that's what he works for.
There
Yeah,
is, you're not wrong. It's in, you can't deny it that you're correct, because there's the Ink and Paint Club where the only patrons are humans and all of the servants are toons.
Well, not only that, but Jill, this is also going back to my my fight between pandas and penguins. The penguins are the waiters. They're black and white. And then later, when Jessica sings "Why Don't You Do Right," the band are all crows. And back in the 40s, when you depicted crows like in Dumbo, it was almost a racial representation of black people.
Oh, it was definitely a racial representation. You kidding?
Well, I'm trying to tread things. I already said woke once. I don't want to say it again.
What? Maybe just don't.
You don't have to say woke. Well, you don't have to say woke at all, because there's
only when it was funny.
But it's not funny because
not to
mentioning
you, but...
mentioning the history of discrimination and race relations and things like that has nothing to do with being woke or anything. That has nothing to do with anything we're talking about today. It's
okay.
I also
totally
get the
outside.
sense that Dumbo, I don't picture him breaking personality like Herman the Baby did. Like I don't picture him sitting down and bad mouthing people, smoking a cigar. The fact that he's flying around and still being Dumbo makes me think he's very pure, like just like he is in the movie. Like he works for peanuts because he probably gets to live in Disneyland in a nice little, in the Jungle Cruise area or something.
Yeah, no, he's typecast. I love the fact that they're trying to use the brooms from Fantasia to sweep up, and they have one human who plays the saxophone of the music from Fantasia to make them do it.
Oh, was that Brer Bear?
Sorry, wait. Oh, really? Well, Disney.
Yes.
I think with the club. Yeah, that's wow. I can't believe they put that in a cartoon in 1988.
Oh, right, because that's from Song of the South, right?
Yeah,
right.
That was
well,
around
and
the time that they started nixing it from other things.
And Cat, later on, you see birds from it. So
they
didn't hide it. It existed in 1988.
I remember when they announced the Funko Pops of Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear. They sold out in like 5 minutes, and they're like the most expensive Funko Pops to get on the secondary market.
Makes sense.
And I love the trolley system too. I wish LA and most places still had that. So much more convenient than having to have a car to go everywhere.
But this is an actual thing, and it was adapted. Robert Towns wrote it as a potential final finale of the trilogy of Chinatown, The Two Jakes, and then it was going to be Cloverleaf was going to be the third one, and it was all about how tire companies and car companies conspired with the government or the municipal government, city government of Los Angeles to dismantle the trolley system because cars were the way of the future. So there is an element of reality to this.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. We need to go back to that system too. It's so much better.
It's integral to the plot. It really is. So that's kind of neat. And it starts here. It's a bit of foreshadowing. And it's a clever use of
lanes of shimmering concrete.
Yeah, it's a clever use of Eddie's poverty to showcase what's at stake. These red cars are at stake, and well, I guess this was predictive. They did get removed.
Is that Bugs?
That is Bugs Bunny.
Yep, earlier rendition of him, yeah. And I can't remember the name of that
and
turtle.
Then Yertle
face is turned to him, but I like that.
Is it Yertle the turtle? I feel like it's
not. That's Dr. Seuss.
Okay, my mistake.
Yertle the turtle, that marvelous he, for I am the ruler of all that I see.
Ooh, nice.
Hey,
I read a lot of books to my kids. Greek Letters Larson says, gotta make an excessive report on the famous Texas barbecue Canadian Spider-Man. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I like that idea. I think that'll definitely happen. Let's see. Small Time Republic is here. It's amazing this movie got made. It is. It's a miracle because the script writers and the animators were not best of friends.
I regularly wear a hat like that, Old Man Bird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, on all my shows, and I wear it while I'm out. It's not just something I do for the show.
Hey, look, it's also Cam Cam. Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
Cam.
Hello.
Hi, Jill, Catherine, and that other guy, Winky Face.
Hello.
Great movie.
Monkey Face?
Winky Face.
Oh, sorry.
Uh-oh, it jumped. Okay, I can get you in and out of Canada, no problem, says Cam Cam. We've got land on both sides.
Hot diggity.
Fun.
Oh, there you go.
You can help sneak me in to visit Scotty because I don't have a passport.
You know what the worst part is? Is that I'll end up at your house and you'll end up at my house and we'll be like, but damn it, Cam Cam.
Well, anyway, he jumps on a trolley on the back of it because he doesn't have any money to pay for it. He has that $50 check he just got for the investigation he just agreed to do.
I'm going to see how much.
What do you mean?
Was.
Oh,
like
but
$50 in 1947.
Oh, I don't know. Like,
no, I'm going to find out. Don't worry.
Let's see. I don't know. An inflation calculator. Well, yeah. while you're looking up the inflation calculator,
$712.
Oh, see, I was underreporting. I was saying 500. Wow, that is more than. That's not a bad deal.
Well, but
an
the thing
investigation for that.
This is great when he arrives at the offices of Valiant and Valiant. What's coming up? More bills. What do you got for me?
Thanks for the cigarette.
Thanks for this.
That's what I was looking for. It was funny because they're kids.
Yes. Well, it's 1947. You want to be cool? Ride on the back of a trolley and smoke cigarettes.
No, you know who would hate that joke is Dalek 451 really hates that kind of stuff. Like
what? Children smoking?
Yeah.
He's not going to like Baby Herman.
I mean, I don't think anybody's for children smoking, but it's just jokes. I don't understand.
Anyway.
Why? Problem. Maybe I'll be a cocktail waitress for the nightclub, says Jasmine through DJ Night. Jasmine. Oh wow. Oh, okay. This is great for DJ Night because you can be really creative with all of the cartoons and have them say lots of fun things. And so he goes to the bar, the terminal station bar.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, again, getting back to the alcoholism, he's got a $50 check and he's just like, well, now that I have money, I know where I'm going. The terminal bar. Like, there is a character arc of Eddie Valiant's ditching the booze throughout by the end of the movie.
Eventually, yes.
And so, there is even a, to quote Mr. Plinkett, you may not have noticed, but your brain did. It's like, it is a terminal bar. Most bars are terminal. Would you like some poison? Great.
He wants everyone to know that he doesn't work for Tunes.
Yeah, but Angelo is so great. Hey, what's going on, Valiant? Who are you working for today? Screwy Squirrel? Let me guess. Little Bo Peep lost his sheep. And then, oh my God, it's a flat out fight scene. Like, Eddie busts his chops, stuffs an egg in his face. It's violent and it's harsh, and then it is punctuated at the end by Joanna Cassidy, who is probably doing one of the best performances of her career, and I don't mean to undermine any of her other performances, but to deliver some of these lines so seriously, a tune killed his brother, dropped a piano on his head. And she commits to it so much. It's a ridiculous line, but she
it's supposed to
sells it.
be. It's supposed to be really tragic, but it's so funny the way that it's delivered in that deadpan kind of way, where this is just normal. This is how life is. You hear about people dying from cartoons dropping anvils on people's heads, and it's just a thing. That's just the world you live in. Yeah, yeah. You have to worry about these kind of things.
Well, and we'll go to Toontown on Saturday night. It'll be fine. It'll be great. And then you realize that there are dangers for humans to go into Toontown, because if you find a murderous tune, they might.
Well, they seem to, the fact that all the people at the bar, especially in that place, all turn their heads in shock at the idea of a tune killing a person makes me think that that's not something that happens very often.
Well, and that's exactly it. Even later, it's like when Eddie and Roger are in the theater, and it's like, a tune killed my brother, and then Roger is like, "What? No!" It's like, it's unfathomable.
Right.
Maddie's daddy says, then when it was so successful, the executives quickly snatched them back up and started working on more animation projects. Oh, he also says because of the failure of such poorly made movies like The Dark Cauldron, the studios were going to stop all animation production. Disney was going to stop animating Maddie's daddy?
Yes.
That's why you see both Mickey and Bugs in this movie. And when it was so successful, they started working on more animation projects. And right. So after this, we get Little Mermaid. So we get the Disney Renaissance. I do know about that.
Yeah, because the Black Cauldron was an unmitigated disaster for the studio, given the budget versus what they got out of it. And and he's right. That's why they did throw these extra characters in there, because they weren't necessarily confident that it was going to sell on its own. That fortunately paved the way for the Disney Renaissance.
Is this early Michael Eisner?
I believe so, or right at the start, or right before. Yeah, let me double check.
They mentioned that this is the first animated movie that was produced under the quote unquote new regime kind of thing.
Then yeah, because that would be Eisner. But I think Frank Wells was still in charge of because he hadn't died yet.
There are so many animators working on this movie. I couldn't even get it straight. I couldn't.
All of them.
Collect all of them are working on this movie. And that's actually why the Disney Renaissance happened, is because they brought in all these outside people who were not their normal animators, and so this movie isn't animated like a normal Disney animation. And so they were failing, so they brought in people who did things differently, and they learned from their failures. And I think that was really a creative way for them to get back into it.
Well, it's a gamble. Well, and don't go away from nice monkey suit. I'm sorry, I'm doing a terrible English or American accent for Bob Hoskins. But when the bouncer, who is an ape, says "wise ass," that was a point of contention. It's like, can cartoons swear? Like in 1988, there was like, can they say that in a Disney movie? And so there were a lot of concessions.
Wow.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't. And it's weird though, because I remember in early Warner Brothers cartoons, they would say jackass. No, they wouldn't say it. They would just animate the donkey head onto whichever character was going to be a jackass. So they even avoided it back in the original interpretation. But here, when the gorilla says it, it's avant-garde, if you will. Like, it was breaking new ground. And also, I know that everyone gets super jazzed about seeing Bugs and Mickey on screen for the first time. But my favorite.
Bugs and Mickey. Daffy and
Donald on screen busting each other up is one of my favorite segments in any movie in the history of, things that have been in my retinas.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Anybody understand what this duck is saying?
This is the last time I work with a duck with a speech impediment.
What they work. Oh man, you're really good at that.
I didn't
forgot
make
you had that
words. I just
talent.
made the sound.
It doesn't matter. That sounds exactly right. That's I've always had that problem with Donald. It's like, what the hell is he saying? So that's my favorite.
Can someone tell me what this duck is saying? Oh my
Sorry.
stars! I'm having too much fun.
You should have to. That's the whole point of this. There's
I
not
remember I
much
had
to
a
say
guy
about
on
the
the
movie. So
construction site who was a perfect Donald Duck impression. Like, you should just go to be a voice actor. Hold on. Look at this. That's so great.
And they like these pianos were, oh my God, the entire Ink and Paint Club. First of all, it is the Cotton Club. Thank you, Francis Ford Coppola. And then not only that, but like every glass and shaker and interaction that happens with this octopus is done by rods and like this set was built 8 feet above the ground so that the trays that are carried by the penguins are run across the room. People are picking glasses up off of it, putting glasses back on them. Like everything about this scene specifically is a technical marvel. And the fact that it was made without computers, and not just in terms of animation, but in terms of the motion of the camera, which would be set up now to make it so that it was perfect and everything worked. Like everything about this is the magic of movie making, in my hyperbolic opinion.
oh, not hyperbolic at all. You can't be hyperbolic about that because it is amazing. Actually, I just remembered I have this. I didn't watch it yet. Making of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I was wondering if we could play a little bit of it. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but
Yeah, well, welcome to the copyright strike, everybody.
yeah, let's do some copyright. As long as it's a copyright claim, I don't care.
Now your marks have to be in front of the refrigerator, back up, so you can't get your hair in front of the rabbit. Let's start inching our way through it.
I thought it was a really interesting idea for a movie, a detective story with a irascible rabbit named Roger. And it just I said, this is a movie that I'd like to go out and see, but this is a movie that we're not going to exactly see overnight. This is going to take years to make. This is not going to be inexpensive. It's going to take a long time. But if done right, it could be, I don't want to say breakthrough, because but it could be something that no one's ever.
Wow, Steven Spielberg really meanders.
And that was the worry. You had to make every shot count.
Technologically, yeah, it was a challenge to everybody, and I had no idea, how difficult my part was going to be in it.
I'm not sure it was ever greenlit. It was always sitting there about to be canceled at every moment. As I remember, every day we had to sweat it out.
We were flying blind. There was no way in real time to know that the actions you were performing on the set were perfect.
And so we would just go, yeah, let's do it. And it would be horribly hard later, but we'd just go ahead and try it. The worst that could happen is that we fail.
Let's see. Let me see if I can guess what's a good part to watch. Oh, look at this.
Okay, so, and cut. Now, all right, let's figure this out. If he comes in.
Bob actually approached the filming of the movie not unlike the way he would shoot any movie, which means he would block the scene as if the cartoon character were there.
There was this sort of rule that you can never move the camera when you're doing animation, which I never understood who made up that rule.
And he said, well, why do these other animation directors say you can't? And I said, because they're lazy.
Because they're lazy. And Roger Rabbit, the production for Roger Rabbit was not lazy.
Not
He
at
had
all.
something to focus on, some reference point, because they're just looking to thin air. And they had the puppet there, they had the dummy right there on the set.
Does this help? They would then take the dolls out and shoot the scene without the dolls, and then check them to see if the eye lines were the same.
Does this help?
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, the eye lines. That makes sense. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Let's just skip a little. Oh, what the hell is?
That's
Oh yeah.
The guy who's doing Roger, who was with me all the time, was Charlie Fleischer, who is completely nuts. He, like the first day, he insisted on a costume. He said, Charlie, you're a voice. If I said anything about your character, no, but you know.
I'm a rabbit. 3 years of acting school, and I'm a rabbit. Shakespeare, and I'm a rabbit. You figure it out.
They had made Roger's clothes up to fit Charlie, and Charlie.
I love that he's that into it.
Character wore Roger's clothes, and I thought to myself, if they think I'm wearing a diaper, they've got another thing coming.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. So then I'm just gonna go to what's visually interesting. Here we go.
Anything. It looks a bit sort of crude with all these wires and motors showing, but of course when Baby Herman is drawn in, all this becomes covered behind the actual cartoon, so all we'll actually see is our cigar.
I just figured since you were the one who got my pal in trouble, you might want to help get him out. I can pay you.
For us at the time, we were looking for as much as possible.
Has this been going on the entire time? You have to stop it. You are going to get copywritten.
Okay, I'm okay with it.
Let's pause it for a bit. Put it on the back burner. Bring it back.
Okay. Oh, but they got to the piano.
Yeah, we'll talk about the.
Never worked.
All right.
All right. Sorry. Yeah, I have been watching. I have just been watching.
You've just been watching special features, and it's like I don't know
It's
why.
really good.
I
It's
don't know
really
why
good.
you can't see this anymore on the YouTube.
I'm engrossed by it. It is.
I
Amazing.
know. Me am I.
I have never seen it. I wanted to watch it, and I thought
Yeah,
it would
but
be
you
fun.
got to. Oh, come on, lady. You're pushing boundaries here.
I am. Anyway.
All right,
Oh,
you're
please
the-
vote in the poll while this live stream is still up. It's
Yes.
anonymous.
Yeah, precisely. Well, it
But they
exists.
used. But I just learned they used a robot arm to move the cigar around.
All right,
I
Franco.
meant to watch this earlier, but since I didn't.
Franco says
you
I'm
did-
enjoying this. So if you want to keep pushing boundaries, you can keep doing whatever you want to do.
Well, we can. You're right. We should leave it alone for a little bit and bring it back later.
But that
Does
happens
everyone
throughout the
understand
film.
why it's called the Ink and Paint Club?
Maddie's daddy. Because it's like the Cotton Club. It's basically, again, it's about civil rights, and this is the only place that tunes can. It's a burlesque show so that you can watch tunes without interacting with them, I guess. Like there's a little bit of underlying. What do you got? What do you got, Maddie's daddy? Steve, tell me what's on your mind.
And DJ Knight says Red Hot Riding Hood.
Oh.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That is hopefully that
Well,
is
no, that's a
the
Tex Avery cartoon.
37. Oh, okay.
That was it was sort of the motivation for this. And also in The Mask, they reference it. Like a lot of this movie is directly referencing Tex Avery style and tone. This is very much a Disney produced Tex Avery cartoon. And I'm much more of a Chuck Jones guy myself, but this is probably my favorite Tex Avery cartoon, not directed by Tex Avery.
Yeah.
Agreed. Zemeckis is still trying to go against conventional wisdom today, the Small Time Republic.
I haven't seen the new one that he did.
I saw that. It was it's interesting.
What's it called?
here.
Yes.
And still keeps your attention despite that you're, the whole thing is just that one camera angle. I liked it. A little overly sentimental and stuff, but I didn't think that was a bad thing necessarily.
Cam's Crash Courses says Bob Hoskins has been a favorite of mine since The Long Good Friday, one of the greatest British gangster movies ever. Agreed. I only saw that recently, Cam, and I was blown away. Bob Hoskins is amazing. One of my favorite actors, obviously. He is passed on, but his body of work is worth investigating no matter what, except for The Son of the Mask.
And I'd like to welcome Sigvaldison here. He says after the show stops, delete the line. I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to risk it. Let's see what happens.
You should download it, though. Download it.
I'll download it, yes.
Yeah, download a copy for yourself and then figure out how to fix it.
Maddie's dad. Could you read this from Maddie's daddy?
Ink and Paint was a department at Disney and other studios where the animation drawings were traced onto celluloid and then traced with ink, and the colors were painted on the other side. Yeah, absolutely. And it makes total sense. But again, I'm looking for the subtext as to why it was called the Ink and Paint Club. Again, aside from Donald Duck's finger bum, the fact that these pianos were like they were player pianos that were made to respond physically to things that were going to be drawn in later. Like this is all just phenomenal in terms of physical, practical special effects, along with the opticals and the passes with the animated characters. Oh, Betty Boop. That is the original voice actress.
It is, yes. One of the last. I think it was the last time she voiced her too.
I think so too. Meanwhile, in puberty, thank you, I appreciate that.
But I still got it.
All right, you got a little bit of echo on your quotes or on your clips.
Not echo. Oh, that's because I was playing that video.
Yeah.
But I still got it, Eddie.
It's so great.
Hey, Dalek451 is here. Yo, Jill, how are you doing? I'm doing really well. How are you?
Hey, Dalek.
We're just meeting Jessica Rabbit here. Gavin Blackburn says one. Look at all those ones.
Lots of ones.
It's not a good thing. I know that's not a good thing. I forget what it means.
Means something bad. Now this was done with this was done many ways, but there was a stand-in actress. Are you gonna play it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, I don't have I don't have videos for this.
You don't have the.
I just have.
All right. Prude.
Well, it's not that. That's not the reason. It's just difficult to clip. And I grabbed the clips from a clip source.
Sure.
I do.
Anyway, this was one of the reasons that they were hesitant to make the tunes too realistic or lifelike. Yeah, there's a GIF for you. But they did rotoscope this to a certain extent in terms of body movement. So they did have a dancer or a performer on stage interacting, as opposed to a lot of the special effects in terms of pulling its sleeves and coat collars and whatnot. It was done, and then it was altered in post, for lack of a better term, to make it so that it would all work. This actress is actually sitting on Bob Hoskins' lap to get the same sort of response physically. And again, a lot of this movie is making it so the humans respond physically accurately to the cartoon characters, as we'll see when Roger and Eddie are cuffed. But it was done so many times in so many ways, and they made it all. I can't believe this is a miracle This movie is a miracle.
It is. Yeah.
One of the things about, because of this particular image, I just wanted to talk about Jessica Rabbit's breasts. So one of the things that they did is they found it difficult to make a humanoid look like a humanoid without getting into that uncanny valley, which is odd because Robert Zemeckis later went on to make the Polar Express. But they wanted to make it so they would move in a way that would be cartoonish, but also appealing to humans. And so one of the little tricks that they made with Jessica Rabbit is that typically when a woman walks, when her down step happens, their bosom will, naturally respond to gravity and fall. However, the way that they sort of accommodated this stylistic choice to make cartoons more like cartoons is that anytime that Jessica makes a down step, and this is according to the audio commentary, I'm not making this up, is that they made sure that her breasts bounced up as she stepped down, just to make her a little bit more fantastical. And apparently, when shown, like the animation of Jessica Rabbit was shown to people, they were uncomfortably titillated. It's like, so we're talking about studio executives, adults, who responded to Jessica Rabbit in the same way that you and I did in 1988 as young men, or boys, really. And we're like, va-va-va-voom. So this was done on purpose.
There was definitely a lot of bouncing.
But it's counterintuitive bouncing to the laws of natural physics for the sake
but she's
of
a cartoon. So
she
that's
is. Exactly. No, but again, I don't think we can deny that Jessica Rabbit is a sexual character. And she is not bad. She's just drawn that way. But it is something that it was done on purpose.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
She's Veronica Lake. She is the femme fatale of the film noir. Again. Greek letters. I appreciate your motivation or your and my axe. Scotty is a true expert when it comes to boobies. Well, I used to be.
And animated ones especially.
Especially animated ones. I am a fan. Speaking of animated
why am I not
boobs,
surprised that Scott knows all that information about that?
because I just watched the audio commentary. I was doing research, on boobs. But speaking of boobs, here's the gorilla.
Oh, one thing we didn't talk about during that past scene because we were distracted by Jessica Rabbit was that the Acme is a person, and he has this disappearing ink, and so it's something they set up, something that gets paid off later. And so I like setups and payoffs. And
I love that his name is Marvin Acme, and he owns Acme. What's the name? Acme.
Like the animation or the
It's the gag shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, they wanted to tie it back to classic animation, and so obviously, anytime that Wile E. Coyote bought anything, he bought it from Acme. And I like that in this world, this is where that's who Wile E. Coyote bought his stuff from, was Marvin Acme.
Right. It didn't really work very well.
Which is why he later sues him in the lost film Coyote versus Acme.
Man, I can't wait to not see that movie.
When is that going to be released?
It's never going to be released.
They took a tax write-off. They can't release it now.
What? Why couldn't they take a tax write-off on Section 31 and release the Coyote movie instead?
Different studio, but I would say the best way.
Studio, but
I would say the best way to go see Coyote versus Acme is step 1: become best friends with Will Forte. Step 2: be disappointed because Will Forte doesn't even have a copy of that movie.
Netflix was actually gonna buy it, and the issue was they were only gonna pay Warner Brothers as much as they invested in it, so they wouldn't turn to profit, so they preferred to take a tax write-off.
Yeah.
And it's like a tax write-off, you're getting the same amount of money back anyway, so why not just sell it to Netflix? It's so stupid.
No, it's absolutely ridiculous. And they're releasing, what is it? The Day the World Blew Up. That's going to be an animated movie released to theaters in March. And that doesn't look half as interesting as Coyote versus Acme. I don't know why. Anyway, we can get into that, but I don't want to talk about a failure.
No,
I
we
want to
don't.
talk about this.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to talk about something that could have been that is never going to be. That's unfortunate. So they worked so hard on it, and they should just release it. I don't understand. If you don't have bids for that scene,
sorry.
at least sing the song. I cannot sing the song. However, I will give you a suggestion, Greek Letters Larson. Go to Friday Night Frolics tonight. Ask Doomcock to sing it. He actually has a really good Jessica Rabbit. It's really creepy. But he will do it if you ask him. If you send the chat. Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
Yeah, this is one of his favorite movies too. And
yeah,
exactly.
Well, then shout out to Doomcock.
Shout out to Doomcock for having a great Jessica Rabbit. It's funny. I love this film so much, says Dalek451. It's so good to see you today. I wish I tuned into this from the start. Yeah. You'd know all about animated boobies if you're an anime fan like me, says Dalek451. I don't doubt you.
See, you know what, Dalek, you bring up a good point, because this 1988 would have been around about the same time as sort of the first, I guess, I want to say mainstream introduction of anime into North American audiences with like Akira and stuff. I know that like Astro Boy had been around and G-Force, but it's interesting. Although I do know that you're from the greatest of Britain.
And so we have Eddie, who's taking photos of Jessica Rabbit playing patty cake with Marvin Acme.
I did want to give a shout out to Kathleen Turner doing the voice of Jessica Rabbit when she does patty cake. Hot diggity.
Oh, I wanted to look up. I wonder if my book has information on this, because I have a book here.
You have a book?
Yeah, I do, but I don't know if I'll get to read. You know how I buy books for these live streams and I never read them.
Hey, Booger's
does it have
here.
anything about why Kathleen Turner was not credited?
Might be a pay dispute or something, or credit dispute.
It doesn't say.
Oh, it could have been a budgetary issue. She could have kept her name off of it to keep costs down.
Oh, that's very nice of her.
Well, I don't know. That's speculation.
Well, even if you take a pay cut, they still have to credit you.
It says she did it as a favor to Robert Zemeckis, so as a favor.
Yeah, same deal as, and again, just sort of as a reference to the late great Gene Hackman. He was in Young Frankenstein without credit, just because he wanted to be in it, and it was just like, can I just be in it? I mean, it's fine. I don't need a credit. It's cool. Anyway, in gratitude to Walt sent me.
Booger! Hey, hello. It also says that during this movie, she was Kathleen Turner was pregnant, so she was happy to take a role that where she just had to show up and do her voice.
Yeah, and she's great. Apparently, she had a good time.
Yeah. Well, she's really fantastic. And so that confused me why she wasn't credited, but now I get it. I'm glad I figured that out. Trying to find where
I love this.
Me too.
I love this part when he's flipping through the photos.
I just always find that line hilarious. You're not the first man whose wife played patty cake.
I do too.
I mean, when
And
you
the way
think
the
about
guy
how
delivers
adult,
it, yeah.
well, I mean, I think it's funny that given how adult all the other references in the movie are, they call this patty cake, and it's literally as you find out actually playing patty cake.
Of course.
It's funny.
It is.
So these are the sex photos.
Yeah, dirty pictures.
It's like you would think that'd just be an innuendo for something else, given everything else in this film, but no, it's just literally patty cake. An innocent game. Now it's something more sensual and sensational.
Well, and the thing is that when you set it up, because you hear, and this is why I brought up Kathleen Turner in terms of, and I don't know the name of the actor, but who plays Marvin Acme. But when they do it, and you can hear it through the window when Eddie is taking the pictures, he's taking the pictures and he's expecting to see some vulgar stuff. And then he keeps taking pictures and then he stops and he's looking through the window and he's like, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
It's like, why is Marvin Acme really all that interested in patty cake? And why is Jessica so turned on by it?
Stubby Cave.
That's right.
Yeah, why is she? Well, yeah. That is a mystery, right? Why is this happening? It's just in the moment before you find out why she's doing it. It just seems funny. It's just absurd.
But it also
works,
is,
whether you know or not.
It's a setup and payoff, because it's like later on we find out that Toons cannot resist shaving a haircut 2 bits. And so apparently, if you're a Toon and a female Toon at that, patty cake is your jam. Like, there are rules that are sort of set up, but not fully explained. And it's like, oh, this is all right. This is how they do it.
Oh,
Well,
Marvin Acme is head of the whole gag company. Strikes me as somebody who would enjoy patty cake.
Fair enough. Take off the joy buzzer.
Well, Maroon wanted. Okay, so Jessica later says Maroon wanted to blackmail Acme. I didn't want anything to do with it, but he said if I didn't pose for those patty cake pictures, Roger would never work in this town again. I couldn't let that happen. And of course, she delivers it way differently. And I'm not going to finish that line. So that's why that happens. Anyway, whenever Roger Rabbit drinks alcohol, he turns into a rocket ship.
Steam whistle.
It's steam whistle. He kind of okay. It is a steam whistle.
But again, it's set up and payoff. They show it and it's like, come on, have a drink.
Yes, it is another setup and payoff.
It's the worst thing that could possibly happen to everybody, especially Eddie, because he's got the bottle of booze and it breaks because of the high-pitched terror.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that'll be in the next scene. Yes, when we get there. Where am I?
The apple of my eye, the cream of my coffee. Yes, DJ Knight, thank you so much for the prompt.
And you're not the first man whose wife played patty cake on him.
No, not my Jessica. Not patty cake.
Patty cake, patty cake.
The apple of my eye. The cream of my coffee.
Oh, my stars.
It's awesome.
You know, I'm just gonna go watch this movie. I don't want to talk.
I know. I just want to. Yeah, right. This suddenly turns into a watch party. Everybody go to Cosme.
Yeah. And I love how when he jumps out the window, it's the perfect silhouette of him going out in the exact same way that every cartoon has ever left a room in a high-speed manner before.
Right. He's gonna figure this out.
And okay, so speaking of Alan Silvestri, the score that shows the melancholy and the questioning of Roger as he's, contemplating, oh, My wife has cheated on me. What happened? What can I do? Anything, I'll do it for you. Please. I did that poorly, but that's because I can't.
Better than mine.
And it's just one of the things this movie does so well is heighten the emotion of ridiculous situations. It brings it to reality. Oh my God. You know what?
Fine, you just accept that these ridiculous cartoon things are part of reality now. I'm fine with it.
Kat, I'm going to need your help on this.
Okay.
In the future, whenever I'm asked about my favorite movies of all time,
Yeah.
now I'm gonna try and stay on top of this because it is one of my favorite movies of all time. But if I ever don't include Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I want you to say, but Scott, remember that one time that you said that Who Framed Roger Rabbit is in your top 5? I'm going to be like, oh, right.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
there's Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy and Eddie. Their father is a clown, so of course he made his son's names rhyme. I know I'm late, but did you cover the connection to Chinatown?
Several
Briefly?
times. We can do it again. Booger. So yeah, this is absolutely the Robert Town, but it is a connection to Chinatown, but it's also a connection to real world Los Angeles history. But yes, it was supposed to be the third of the Jake Gitties, Mr. Gitz trilogy.
There you go. Poor old Roger in this scene. His despair is real, despite him not being real.
True.
That's because in this movie, he is real.
And that's what this
Just
movie
put
does.
the movie on. Don't tempt me, Franco Walker. Don't tempt me.
No.
I might just do it. It's bad enough I'm playing the entirety of the making of. So no, I'm skipping through it, but not enough.
And this is a Disney movie. This is rife with litigation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I could get in trouble just for stills with Disney.
Yeah.
Like if they don't like the way you're breathing.
And that's why we can't have Johnny Fever say booger one more time.
Look at all that dust, though. That's
Oh my God. It's caked on there.
I love it. I love it. And again, this is something that they bring up in the filming of the movie is that this was all done like actually a panning camera. There was a cameraman holding the camera, panning across all of the old news clippings. They had to change the lighting to transition from night to day because Eddie was drunk. Bob Hoskins had to change his clothes, take off his jacket, get himself positioned. There was a lot of stuff going in to this shot individually, and they had to do it physically on the fly. This is, again...
And look at all the dust on there. I love it.
Yeah. It shows...
This pan shot. It's just the entire history. If you want to know more about Eddie Valiant, this tells you everything. And they say a picture tells 1,000 words, and this is the epitome of that cliche.
Yes. Well, trope. No. Reality.
Valiant and Valiant, crack nephew kidnapping. So they were a good team. They were a great investigative.
Yeah, but if you go back one,
be cleared of spy charges.
No, but if you go back one, no, not that one, Dusty. This one, nephew kidnappers, and it's like Donald's Huey, Louie, and Dewey.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Retrieved.
Returned, and if you look at this picture right here, you can see how maybe that was supposed to be them, but you can't quite see them.
Oh yeah,
you're not supposed to be paying that much attention.
But it is, again, it's like it's a reference to a classic Disney cartoon, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, like it, and then Goofy cleared of all spy charges.
Family celebrate with Monster Party. All of Toontown joins a Monster Party. That sounds fun. Yeah. Evidence of Valiant and Valiant Yeah, very good.
That's funny. I like that the if not California, but American government thought that Goofy was a communist.
Well, and also if you wondered whether or not Eddie Valiant was just a private investigator, he's a detective. He's a true blue.
But not only that, and this is explained later, again, another setup and payoff, is you get to see Edward and Theodore at sort of acting out in a Toon-like way. The whimsy and joie de vivre that the Valiants have is important to the character because Eddie lost that when a Toon killed his brother. And later on, it's like we do get Eddie reverting back to his fun of Toons, and in the movie Balcony, it's Eddie explains, it's like, yeah, me and Teddy, we liked working Toontown. It was a lot of laughs. And so there is a bunch of what happened to Eddie before? What happened to Eddie? And so when you do, well, we've already found out that his, the piano.
He's upset and he says, I don't work for Toons, but before when his brother was alive, he almost exclusively worked for Toons.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, little blue.
Here. Hello, new subscriber. Welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you guys know Doug Walker, nostalgia critic, of course. Oh, who doesn't know him? That goes way back. He cites this sequence of Eddie looking at pictures of his brother, and as the camera pans around the desk, that it's perfection.
I agree with Doug.
It is. It's incredible storytelling without saying a word.
And I like.
There are words, you read them.
I've been a fan of the nostalgia critic. I've sort of fell away from his reviews ever since I've started, but definitely an inspiration. I enjoy being exuberant on the tubes that are you as much as I love Doug Walker. He was
good.
an inspiration.
I like the nostalgia chick a little more.
I love her. Lindsay Ellis is amazing. She wouldn't like me.
No, she probably wouldn't like me either, but I like her.
Fair enough. Yeah, me too. I'm a fan.
Why would she not like you?
Because I say things that you don't
not
like.
You, Jill.
Yeah, no.
Not you.
I don't know.
We know why she wouldn't like you.
I don't know. She's just probably too cool for me. I have no idea. DJ Play Nice says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, DJ Play Nice. Matt G says, hello.
Hey, Matt G.
And we're waking up from night of drinking an entire bottle of liquor.
Yes, that's, what do we call it? Morning?
Yeah, good morning.
So, Kat.
Yeah.
This is your expertise.
Yeah.
Who is this gentleman?
Who the guy he's talking to?
Yeah.
Like the actor or the character?
The actor.
I haven't seen his face. I can't remember. Oh, that guy. He was in Star Wars.
Who did he play in Star Wars?
I can't remember the name, but he's the moth that Vader chokes out for being too arrogant about the Death Star.
They didn't allow you to conjure the stolen rebel plans or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Star Wars guy.
Yes.
Star Wars guy. Oh, right. Good news.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Yes.
Kat, could you read this chat from Dalek451?
The scene is the definition of show and don't tell. You need to rewatch it several times over to catch every detail. It's perfect. Yes. It is.
It was even more fun taking screen caps of it.
And the score that accompanies it is perfect too.
Yes.
Oh yes. The whole music throughout the movie is really good. And I almost missed the Goofy headline, but then I was like, no, I have to get that. I'm going back.
Whoa.
I I was watching an interview with Gene Wilder, says Cam Cam, where he explains how it came to be. And he says that Hackman didn't want to be credited, just wanted to be in a funny Mel movie. And,
Yeah, they used to play tennis, Cam Cam. Gene and Gene.
well, there you go. The Blind Ma. Okay, that's it. I'm scrolling up to see what movie he's talking about.
But I love this actor. I love that he is in this movie. Again, it was filmed in London, same as Star Wars. He's just an American expatriate who lives in London, gets acting roles, or at least I don't want to speak for him. This is all vague, but like he lives there as an actor, and he gets to play the token American, if you will. And when he does it, he is so good. Like I think he's an amazing presence in this film. He does represent one of the tropes of film noir, of the guy who is on the police force who helps out the slovenly private dick. Like I like him being here as here, I'll get you in. And then, on a completely different note, Yosemite Sam shows up out of nowhere.
Just flies in from Toontown.
My biscuits are burning! Fire in the hatch!
Oh, happiness pie.
This just seems like it's just thrown in there for no reason, but this pays off too. Because somehow they don't show how he acquires Yosemite Sam's gun, but he has it. He has it later.
It's true.
Well, they do explain it visually.
Yeah, they do.
Dear Eddie,
Visually,
thanks
yeah,
for getting
right.
me out of the Hooskow. Yosemite Sam.
Yes, they do. They do it with dialogue, so it works.
No, it's visually. It's the plate on the gun case.
Oh, I like this, the Acme warehouse. And all the portable holes.
Yes.
That seems useful, maybe. Or
Well, I don't know.
terrifying.
It depends on where the hole goes to. It doesn't sound
Yeah, right.
It's not as rational as Portal.
No, it's not. It's scary. It could be scary. It depends. Yeah, it depends. Has anybody ever? Oh no.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to jump into one. I don't know where it goes.
No, but
And
you
I
could use
look-
it to throw away things. And then
Well, and
maybe
also-
you might end up finding out where.
If you put it up against a wall, you could probably pass through the wall to the other
But-
side.
Just to the other side of the wall?
I'd imagine.
I don't know. I'm scared. But
You
I
have to
love.
be more scared of the thing chasing you.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But I love that the guy with the mustache and the mallet with the punching glove is like, oh, didn't you used to be Eddie Valiant? Or did you change your name to Jack Daniels? Once again, alluding to Eddie Valiant being just a no good drunk. That's why he's being let in here. And they follow it up later with Judge Doom being like, don't worry about it, detective. By the smell of him, it's probably the booze talking. Like everything is calling Eddie Valiant just a drunken loser.
Yeah.
Yes, they're all making fun of his alcoholism.
Or did you change your name to Jack Daniels?
And yep. And Jessica Rabbit is not happy that Eddie took those pictures. And
See, that's kind of weird. If you go back one, she only has
Yeah.
one nostril. I don't know if I'm so attracted anymore. You know, giant bosom, but one nostril? That's kind of weird.
it depends on which angle you're looking at her at.
I
guess.
suppose. I suppose.
If no nose bothers you, yeah. I guess
I'm sorry, what did you say?
if someone not having a nose bothers you, it's not like she's
It does,
Voldemort.
Jill.
She's
It
not
does bother
Voldemort.
me. I'm not having sex with the Red Skull
All right.
or Skeletor. or Jessica Rabbit.
That's fair enough.
I like the whole
Yeah.
joke that he used to be this really great guy. Now he's a washed-up alcoholic. It's like, oh, so given the end of the movie, he's just a better version of Rick Deckard.
Yeah.
Because he can actually still do his job, and he's still got it, and comes off rather cartoonish. So, in the spirit of his Deckard Rabbit band, it's like, is Eddie a cartoon character? Maybe.
Oh, that's a good. Oh my God, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, well, here we're meeting Judge Doom.
The great Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful. And
I think that there was, and I think it's well known, is that one of the things in terms of his direction was don't blink. And you find out later because of, the prosthetic eyes. But he never blinks during his performance.
He never blinks?
No.
That's not possible. What are you talking about?
No, in his performance, he never blinks.
In this movie, Christopher Lloyd never blinks. Is this your assertion?
It's an assertion by Robert Zemeckis, the director of the film, as a compliment to Christopher Lloyd. So yes, in terms of production, if you want to go through Who Framed Roger Rabbit, watch the entire film, and I recommend you do. Watch and see when Christopher Lloyd blinks.
He has to blink. Everybody has to blink.
Not if you're a toon. Don't you recognize me, Eddie, when I killed your brother? Anyway, what's this guy's name?
I'm not sure. They all have different names. This one's named Stupid. This one's Psycho.
Yes.
And so I don't know his name. Is it Greasy?
No, Greasy is the one in green.
Okay. Then
so I don't know what Pinky is. If anybody can help me and tell me the name of this weasel in the pink zoot suit, I would appreciate it. It will pay off later.
Yeah, we need the names of all of the weasels. So
we have all of the names of the weasels except for that guy.
All right.
You wouldn't have any idea where the rabbit might be, Valiant?
Oh, and that's why. See, I was wondering why all the weasels have names that kind of remind you of the Seven Dwarfs. Is because they were originally going to have 7 weasels, and they just got cut down to 5.
Well, and originally there was supposed to be a vulture that a toon vulture that hung out on Judge Doom's shoulder, and that was cut.
God, those weasels are great, though.
They are. Well, and I'm looking for the names of each weasel.
Oh, Booger says his name is Smartass. Maybe they changed it to Smart Guy. No, they changed it to Smart Guy. I think.
Yeah, Smartass, Wise Guy. Yeah.
Okay. Wise Guy. I'm going to call him Wise Guy.
His name is Smartass. You can say
okay. No, but that's here. I'm very upset. Let's give people a little time to figure it out. We don't have to figure it out right now.
Right.
Figure out what?
All of the names.
The name of this is Weasel.
Names. Oh yeah. I don't remember
and
either.
Another fun attribute of these weasels is they don't know words.
And was corrugated by several others.
Corrugated. Now the most brutal murder in all of cinematic history.
Yes. Yeah, this poor innocent shoe was just looking for its other shoe. And it's gone.
It's funny in the audio commentary. They talk about it, and it's like, because you know that shoe has a partner. And it was very good of you to not show the reaction of the other shoe watching their partner be dipped.
I was worried about that. I hadn't seen this in a while, and I was wondering if they were going to go with that tragedy. But they didn't.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
That is.
And I like that, Judge Doom doesn't really have any legal authority to kill that tune, but he does it anyway.
Well, but this is again why it's also sort of a thing about civil rights is, can you arbitrarily just murder tunes? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, nobody was outraged about it, and they didn't talk about Judge Doom having committed a crime.
And you can tell that Eddie and the other guy there, his friend, are like kind of disturbed by it, but they're not saying anything in opposition to it.
Right. They look away.
Yeah.
But
it's a sentient shoe.
It is. It knows it's a shoe.
And then one of the best things about this, which makes it even more terrifying, is that Doom is wearing the glove with the red from the shoe still on his hand. And while it is paint, it looks like the blood is dripping from his glove.
It's the stuff of nightmares is what it is.
Yeah. Thank you, Robert Zemeckis.
Yes.
And Christopher Lloyd for really selling it.
Absolutely.
He did. Let's see what the chat has to say about that. I know they will have something to say about it. Oh, Booger says the Animaniacs sort of did a follow-up to this where they went to Black and White Ghetto.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the Animaniacs.
Oh, I forget the name of but I know what you're talking about, Booger. I'm sorry. You're quicker on the draw than I am. Bosco? Is it Bosco? They go back to like 1928 Warner Brothers or 1934 Warner Brothers. And I think it was Bosco. And it was like the lost tunes because they were monochromatic. They weren't in color. And so people had forgotten about them. I remember that. I remember that ish.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
Yes. Great horny toads. That's smart. My biscuits are burning. Amazing.
And Jessica Rabbit. Oh, well, any thoughts of finding out what happened? Yeah. And now we have Judge Doom, played by the legendary Christopher Lloyd, says.
Agreed.
Alec 451, yes. Those are the proper words. That poor little shoe. This is horrific. And,
I cherish the death of that shoe.
Well, it did.
Not because I like the death of the shoe, but I do appreciate it. It's one of those things where, what was it? I was having an argument about Star Wars, and someone said, Star Wars movies aren't for children. And I was like, George Lucas himself said Star Wars movies were for children. And the response, I think it was Melvin Deeply, a friend of the channel, said, yeah, but children were smarter back then. And I was like, all right. And I feel the same.
That we didn't talk down to them and treat them like as infantilized as we do now.
Exactly. And I think that is representative of what I'm saying, or what I'm trying to get at, sort of, is that watching the murder of that shoe is like, here are the consequences, kids. We can destroy any cartoon character we want with dip. And that was a big thing in the production. They were like, how do you kill a cartoon? And they were like, real world physics. So it's benzene, like all rubbing alcohol, whatever the dip is made of.
Acetate, hydrogen
acid.
There you go. Well, but it was going back to the Ink and Paint Club. How did you clean those animation cells? And you did it with basically the dip. And so that is how you kill a tune. And so I did, like, yeah, they showed the absolute destruction of a cartoon character. You never knew a cartoon character could die until you saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And you know what? Thank you for your service, Shoe.
Turpentine.
Never forget the shoe.
acetone, and benzene. Yes, and it also sets
The
up
Diary
the
of
danger.
Anne Shoe. Too much?
It sets up the danger too. It sets up the threat. And so now you are worried for the cartoons, and where you couldn't before. Before, you're never worried about them because they can get smashed, they can fall, they can get hurt in all sorts of ways and not die.
And if I could see Dalek 451 at camera 2 for 1 second. Hey man, we were talking about the fact that there's a bit of smoking in here. And so I just wanted to warn you, baby Herman smokes cigars. And I know you don't like smoking, but there's a baby who smokes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was talking
Anyway,
about how
back
you
to the
don't like
show,
smoking, but
everybody.
I don't think you'll mind that a cartoon baby smokes.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he doesn't mind that a cartoon baby smokes. I was talking about earlier where there were real children with cigarettes. He wouldn't like that.
Yeah, but like the thing is that can cartoons get lung cancer? I don't know.
No.
Then there you go. Smoke if you got 'em, cartoons. You'll never get the lung cancer.
Well, the cartoons, no, but the little kids on the trolley, yes.
Oh, but this takes place in 1947. We're currently in 2025. How many of those kids do you think are still alive?
I don't know. They probably are.
You think so?
Maybe.
They were smoking in 1947.
Well, not
10,
but the movie was
12?
made in 1988.
No, I'm
No,
anyway,
he's talking about the real world.
Oh,
like,
in universe. Okay, gotcha.
yes.
Anyway, Roger Rabbit knows he's being charged or at least suspected for murder, so he's trying to hide out. And
Dalek 451 in the chat
him.
says, "Yes, Scotty. Like I didn't know that. He's a cartoon baby. That doesn't matter." And I can hear your gruff "blah" at the end of it. Thank you, sir. I'm just playing, and I love you to pieces.
So Eddie doesn't really want to help Roger, but Roger kind of forces it.
You missed the whole thing, though.
I didn't miss anything. It happened. I'm also running
no, but the
behind on
cuffs.
slides. There's the cuffs for you. Oh, okay.
Well, this like sets up a bunch of the plot, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
So
because
Roger is
Valiant goes
trying to
back
be
to
funny.
his office, and yeah, so he learns from Herman that Roger didn't do it. Like the baby says, no, there's no way he did it. And
You know, one of my favorite lines in all of cinema is, "I know, I got a 30-year-old lust and a 2-year-old dinky."
yes. And can you describe this scene for me? I need to step away for just a minute.
How do you mean describe this
neglect.
scene?
Well, this scene
Just
is
talk for me for a little while. I
Cat
need to
knows
go
what
away
she's
for a minute.
doing.
Yes, so
Cat knows what she's doing.
the weasels are coming because, of course, Judge Doom believes that Eddie knows something about this. Well, not so much that he knows about it, but I guess spoilers. Judge Doom is responsible, and he's kind of trying to work the frame up, so he's going to come by and try and catch Eddie off guard. And so, because Roger and Eddie are now cuffed together, Eddie has to figure out how he's going to hide Roger from the goons or from the weasels, and eventually he figures it out by shoving him in the kitchen sink. And into the spirit of can a tune get lung cancer, it's like, can a tune drown from being in the water? Apparently not, because according to Judge Doom, the only thing that can kill a tune is dip, which goes back to answer the question as to why they can't die of lung cancer. But Roger still likes coming up for air, so it's not really pleasant for him to be kept underwater in the kitchen sink.
Well, and you make a good point in terms of what does kill a tune. And again, it was something that was a difficulty for the filmmakers what does kill a tune? So yes, fine. Cartoons can't get lung cancer. Of course not. They can get shot in the face and it doesn't matter. And drowning, suffocating doesn't kill a tune. And it is, again, this is one of those perfect scenes. I love it because they're using the same sort of thing that was happening in the Ink and Paint Club, where the set was 8 feet above the ground and there were people holding physical guns on rods to really accentuate the reality of the weasels. And this is also another one of those points, set up and payoff, is where what's his name, Smartass, is like, stop that laughing, you know what'll happen, you're gonna die laughing, kind of thing, that is set up for later for the finale. And so he gets all uppity about that, again setting up the characteristics of the weasels. They don't laugh at anything unless it is the misfortune of others. What a bunch of dicks. Like, love the characterization, totally building into the world of it. And the entire time, your anchor, your son of the solar system, is Bob Hoskins selling the reality of pushing Roger back into the sink, pulling his sock out, my lingerie. Like, everything about this sells not only the story, but the reality of the ridiculousness that you're watching.
Yes. And that's the thing.
Thanks,
the casting, with the casting, it's like that had to be absolutely key. And it was like the same thing that Michael Caine said when he got cast as Ebenezer Scrooge in Muppet Christmas Carol. He says, well, it's easy. You just have to absolutely believe. You have to stop thinking about the silliness of, the actual making of the movie and just accept that they are real people and just treat it that way. Like, don't think of the fact that they're puppets or Muppets with the, like you mentioned, the sets being built awkwardly, kind of like with the Dagobah set in Empire Strikes Back, all had to be built like 8 or 9 feet above the ground to accommodate Frank Oz carrying the Yoda puppet. And even when Mark Hamill was having his ear, he used the radio in his ear to hear Frank's lines. And anytime the radio interfered with like an FM radio station, they say, look, just pretend that you're still there. And it's like, okay, even if you can't hear him. So it's like, yeah, it's about, can the actor sell the total believability that this is going on? Sort of like when Christopher Lee was asked, how do you do acting in front of blue screens and everything for George Lucas? He's like, well, it's easy. It's like when you act with people who can't act.
Oh, nice. And I love Joanna Cassidy in this. I love the chemistry.
Oh no, the poll ended on its own.
Oh no, not the poll. I thought that was a rabbit in your pocket, or that you were happy to see me.
Well, the poll's over through no choice of my own. So,
all right, well then let's do that now.
Jessica Rabbit wins at 36%, with Eddie Valiant coming close at 33% with 33 votes. And Roger Rabbit had 24% with Judge Doom at 6%. I was wondering if anyone would choose him. At least one person did.
What was the poll about?
Like, your favorite character in Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
It's gotta be Roger Rabbit.
No, my favorite is Eddie Valiant. That's what I.
Yeah, me too. That's what I. Yeah, that's what I would have voted for if I could. But anyway, yeah, that scene was very important. I'm sorry I had to step away for a bit, but
no, you're good.
Because it wasn't believable that he would work. That he would help Roger, but handcuffing him, that makes that work. And it also sets up a really good joke.
And this sets up one of my favorite jokes of all time. And I think that this is part of the reason why I have developed friendships and lost friendships, is when, after trying to get Eddie and Roger out of handcuffs, because Eddie doesn't have the keys to the cuffs, Roger does something completely ridiculous. And Eddie gets so angry. And he's like, are you telling me that you could have got out of those cuffs at any time? And Roger's like, no, only when it was funny. And that is why people hate me, ladies and gentlemen, is because I can do things, but preferably only when they are funny.
And that is a
No,
joke.
not at any time. Only when it was funny.
Yeah, I am an annoying fuck with giant ears.
And that is a joke that works every time when it's like, you could have done that the entire time or they're too dim to realize it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And I'm not saying I am as cool as Roger Rabbit. I think I'm cooler. I'm not as cool as Eddie Valiant, but I'm just saying that is one of the perfectly timed jokes that I have ever seen. Meanwhile,
You guys see this?
yes,
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's got the whole scene here.
don't forget to download this live stream. It is going to be deleted based on multiple copyright questions.
If you don't have,
Don't
good
forget to
sense
like and
of humor, you
subscribe,
better
share.
like, subscribe, share while this channel still is active.
Share it and
This
post
is-
it on your own pages to get copyright strikes of your own.
Yeah. Agreed.
And so then, all right. Oh, there was another good line here. I like this too.
Why, my Uncle Thumper had a problem with his probate.
No, that's why they call me Thumper. His uncle is Thumper from
Yes.
Bambi.
You missed the best part. You missed the punchline.
Well, I couldn't get all of it because I
All
was
right,
worried
I'll
about
do it.
copyright.
I'll do it.
Once upon a time, you want the whole thing?
No, I can do it. My Uncle Thumper had a problem with his probate, and he had to take these big pills and giant glasses of water. Not prostate, you idiot. Probate.
Hey, you
Good
remember
enough?
that perfectly.
Dude, I'm telling you, I watch this movie twice a year.
Clearly you do.
Also, if you're, I need a girlfriend or a She-Hulk, one of the two.
Well, you know what you have to do to get one of those, right?
Job?
Yes, that's a
Oh,
good
fuck
start.
you. Sorry about the
Good
swear.
start. It's just a fact. It's just a fact.
I know. I hate your reality. I want to go to Toontown. Meanwhile, back at Valiant
Well,
and Valiant,
we're there now. Oh my god.
there is the hairiest back I have ever seen, except for Dan Hedaya in Alien Resurrections.
I'd also say probably Robin Williams is a contender.
I've never seen Robin Williams' hairy back.
Yeah, I've seen his hairy front, so it's a chest. So
Yeah, but hairy
I could probably-
backs.
Probably, they called him a bear for a reason.
Well, no, no, I don't want to get into it right now.
Smart choice.
Okay. Then do it.
Thank you, Kat.
What? What did she say?
No, she's
He said, I'm not going to get into it right now. And I said, good choice.
yeah, and she's correct.
I love that
I have
line.
more
I'm not
than-
bad. I'm just drawn that way. That's the line of the movie there.
That is the
Absolutely.
line of the movie. It is.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Yeah, I mean that's not just a good line from the movie. It's a good clip from my channel. Anyway, she's there. She's waiting for him in his office, and says that Maroon forced her to pose for the patty cake pictures. Otherwise, Roger would never get any work in the town again.
I'd do anything for my husband, Mr. Valiant.
And of course, Dolores enters the room at just the right time to see him and to see Eddie Valiant in his underwear. Oh, and Jessica Rabbit's boobs also have to make that bouncy sound, like there's a boing bouncy sound.
Well, but he does bump his boob, or he bumps his head on her boobs And
Them
also, like in terms of characterization, I still want to reinforce that this is one of the best film noirs ever. And when Dolores catches Eddie and Jessica, he is holding her hands back. Like he grabs her wrists and pushes her away, even though his pants are around his ankles. And then she walks in. She's obviously, and I'm not discrediting Dolores's questioning of the situation. Obviously, I would be concerned if I were Eddie's on again, off again lover, dabbling in ink and paints, Eddie. But the thing is that it all works out dramatically. It's not goofy. One movie that came out around the same time, trying to capitalize on this, was Ralph Bakshi's Cool World. And it went a little too lewd, a little too obscure, not as technically proficient. It was trying to do stuff, but it didn't succeed. This one does so much better. This one actually maintains the reality of the drama. And yes, fuck you, Jessica. Sorry about the swear. For doing that, because that's just sowing seeds of infidelity in front of my girlfriend, which I would appreciate it if you didn't do that. Do you want me to make it so that your husband is not convicted of dip?
Yeah, that's just her character, though.
Yeah, I know. Femme fatale. Femme fatale.
Yeah, like she says, I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Yeah, well, anyone can make excuses.
It's okay. It all works out in the end.
That's
and
what
she tells Eddie that Cloverfield Industries wants to own Toontown, and if Acme doesn't show up by midnight, they will own it. So, and Eddie doesn't know why the company wants to own Toontown.
I love the weasels coming out of the sewer.
And we get a dancing, singing performance from Roger. He's having so much fun.
Well, and also this is again a thing about how tunes.
Oh no! Everything got minimized.
Who's your tailor? Quasimodo? I know, you know what? I don't know what that joke means, but I know that Quasimodo is a funny word. Words that start with Q are funny. According to Joe Piscopo from the Outrageous Okana.
Really?
Yeah.
Dancing on the bar. Yeah.
Well, it's merry-go-round broke down.
Right.
And this is all, again, this is sort of the same situation as they had with the Ink and Paint Club in terms of how do we make physical objects interact with animated characters. And so there's smashing of plates. There are things moving around all over the place. There are actors miming to nothing. Franco Walker,
right.
Quasimodo was the hunchback from Notre Dame. Yes. But what? Explain, Franco, if you would be so kind. Why does Quasimodo's tailor, why is that funny? And I think that it's only funny because you're making fun of the person who is wearing the clothes' stature. And it's like, oh, you're making fun of a hunchback? It's kind of ableist. Or Quasimodo is just a funny word. Why is Quasimodo's tailor a funny joke? And the only reason it works is because of how funny the word or name Quasimodo is.
That's
anyway.
right. Our laugh can be a very powerful thing.
Angela would sell you out in 2 seconds.
And he doesn't. We find out in the scene that he does not do such a thing. Even though Judge Doom is offering $5,000, $5,000 reward. And even with that, nobody sells out Roger Rabbit.
Oh my
But
god. What
Roger
is
Rabbit has
five?
to sell himself out.
Okay, so I gotta find out $5,000.
Oh, the inflation calculator makes its appearance once again on our live stream. 5,000, yeah. So it would be 25,000.
$70,000.
Oh, shit.
I hate to say it, guys. Fuck Roger.
No. Unless we lie and make him
You
pay
would-
from the front.
You would sell out Roger Rabbit for $70,000. He sells himself out. You don't need to do anything because he can't help it.
You know, no one would like me if I did it.
That's right. Nobody would like you anymore.
Yeah.
But it's too late.
If I
You
took
already said that you would do
$70,000.
it.
No, but I'm thinking
It's
about
not.
it. I'm
He's-
talking to my friends about
hasn't
it. I'm
done it
trying to
yet.
figure it out.
It's like when you go to Reddit and you go to "Am I the asshole?" forum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you are. Oh,
All right. I
shouldn't
am
do
the
that.
yeah. Well, we already knew I was the asshole, but you're right. I shouldn't take $70,000 for the life of my friend. He made
Hey,
me
that
money.
poll ended early. Mhm. Cam says Christopher Lloyd and his wife have a house here in Vermont and help run and perform in the local theater company. Hell of a nice guy. That's awesome.
One of my favorite things
Okay.
about actors is that a lot of them, because they got their start in theater and because they support young actors and the arts in general, is I love that a lot of the sort of elder statespeople, they motivate young artists and promote them and become teachers and just say how to release your performance, how to not disassociate from yourself, but invest in a character. I really, you know what? That's fantastic. I appreciate that, Cam. And I appreciate Christopher Lloyd have since much of his career, except for Dennis the Menace. I don't like him in Dennis the Menace. I think he relies on the prosthetics.
So as we continue the movie, Judge Doom gets Roger Rabbit to reveal himself by tapping his cane to the tune of
Oh, you're gonna make me
shave
do it.
and a haircut.
Okay, you
and
got to do
yeah.
it properly. I don't know how to do it with this microphone. Oh, you don't even have the clip?
No, you got to
Okay.
do it.
No, I know, but I have to be able to. Who's going to do the knock?
Oh, the knock. Okay, let me see.
Oh, someone's got a phone call. And you have to do the knock 3 times. The first 2 times. So do shave and a haircut. Then you sort of recite along and be like, shave and a haircut. And then I'll do my thing. You got it?
Okay. I don't know if I have anything to tap with. Let's see.
You have to tap something.
Okay, how's this?
Well, get it closer to the microphone.
How's that?
No, you got to be more forceful with your shave and a haircut.
Yeah.
Seriously, do I have to do everything? Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, you do everything.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do everything. Fine.
Thank you.
Then I'm taking a break. Maestro, if you please.
I got to get through the slides anyway.
I know. And me shutting up makes that happen faster. Shave
and
haircut. Oh, you want to do it? Okay.
No,
So I'll do the first one.
no. I just
No.
didn't hear you
This
do it.
works. This works. So I'll do the first one. You sing along with the knocking,
I just
and
want
then
to-
I'll do the last one. Okay.
Okay, let's
Okay.
get going. Shave and a haircut.
2 bits.
Oh, great. Oh,
Was
the
that
slides are
worth the
pretty long.
build-up? Was that worth the build-up?
I don't know. Was it?
No.
Not really. No, but
Not
you know
really.
what is worth it though? Is getting getting Roger Rabbit to drink again. How do we get out of this mess? Because
You do. You don't.
yeah, because Judge Doom wants to dip Roger Rabbit. He's not. Once again, he can just indiscriminately grab cartoons and murder them, and he's about
Well,
to do
don't
this.
forget, tunes aren't people.
I did forget that. This movie makes me forget that. This movie makes me think, hey, they're part of this world. They matter. And this this idea that you can just get rid of them like that, it's messed up. But luckily
There was a moment where one of the weasels was going to show up with a suitcase, and it was going to be full of kangaroos, and so there was going to be an actual kangaroo court.
Oh no, okay, and so they just skipped the whole idea of actually making him a judge. So they were actually going to make him a judge. He doesn't do any. He's judging, but he doesn't actually perform that function.
But I think that they in terms of the storytelling, just having an authority figure who can do anything is enough. Like Judge Doom shows up, and it's like even when the guy from the Death Star says, "Knock it off, Eddie. He's a judge." Oh yeah, you love it when people pull on Joanna Cassidy's blouse. And that is sold completely by Christopher. What's his name?
Lloyd?
Plummer? That's it.
Lloyd.
Oh, there you go.
He's a judge, jury, and executioner.
They escape and they find a car, and then they find a cartoon car, and they're gonna find that in a minute.
Oh, who is gonna be?
And his name is Benny.
Well, Charles Fleischer. Big shout out to Charles Fleischer. He does the voice of Roger Rabbit. He was on set every day, and he does the voice of Benny the Cab as well. But originally, I think it was. You know what? I don't want to speculate. I want to say Lou Rawls, but I don't think it was Lou Rawls. But they changed the idea of the character to being a New York cabbie, and so Benny the Cab was voiced by Charles Fleischer again. Charles Fleischer, famously from Nightmare on Elm Street and Back to the Future Part 2.
Yes, he also played Greasy and Psycho, so he plays two of the weasels also.
Very, very proficient, expert voice actor. Dalek!
Hey, welcome, Dalek451. How are you doing? So this is the escape scene here. They're escaping with the cops right behind them.
Okay, you guys talk through the car chase. I'll be back in a second.
This lever, stupid. I like that. The car is very helpful. Dalek, how are you doing today? Are you here? Dalek451. Oh, it's been a while. You're gonna want to have to check your audio because we can't hear you, unfortunately. Although I look forward to hearing you if you can figure out how to be heard. But while we wait for that, I'm gonna go through the
I'm
chat real quick.
so sorry
Ghostbusters.
about.
Oh,
Can
there
you hear
you
me
are.
now?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
I'm so sorry. I was saying how excited I was, how happy I was. I had to get in here. I couldn't stay away, and then you were saying you couldn't hear me, and then my microphone wasn't plugged in.
Oh,
So
well, that'll do
sorry.
it.
So sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Yeah, I'd unplugged it so I could because I unplugged it a couple of nights ago while I was on my laptop. I was because I had to recharge. I had to recharge my mouse. So
yeah. So one
once I
of the
was
USB plugs had to go.
So one of the things in the USB had to go, and that's what I do. I unplug my microphone so I can put the little sensor thing for the mouse in that whilst I'm charging up the mouse. And I never put the microphone back in. I never put the microphone back in again. Sorry about that.
What do you call in the middle of a song?
What?
Gee, I don't know. A bridge. And that was the joke. So, Dog451, before we continue, I wanted to ask you, when did you first encounter this movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, years ago. I first watched this years ago. I think it was it was back when I was. I think it was when I was still in school. When I was at least a teenager, I think, and there was this. There used to be this place literally just called the Video Shop, very close to where I lived. Very close to here, in fact, and it used to rent out all kinds of everything. It used to rent out the videos, DVDs, games for all the current consoles, and so on and so forth. And one of the things they had in there was a double box set of this video box set of this film, which one video had the film, and another one had these actual proper Roger Rabbit cartoons on it, and I remember at the time I was in there. I saw the racing on the boxes at the time. Because I was so young, given my age at the time. I looked at it. It said PG, and I was like, and I thought, oh, am I allowed to watch this? And so I actually asked the lady in the rental shop, could you actually call home? Could you call my mom? Am I actually allowed to watch this? It's a funny story.
It's just PG. It's only rated R.
Just for PG. I know, but I'm talking about the PG. I'm not PG over here in the UK, and I'm talking about the US PG, because the rating system for films in the US is very different than what it is here. Because what you'd call an R rating was I think that for us would be a 15.
Mm-hmm. And so, okay. Well, and then they said, yes, you can. And then you took it home.
I took it home, and that's how I first watched this film.
Mm-hmm.
And from this rental place.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, so rental for you.
Yeah.
And for what's going on here is after the car chase, they decide they need somewhere to hide. And so they're hiding in a movie theater watching Goofy movies, and Roger Rabbit. This is another setup and payoff for later, where Roger Rabbit is admiring Goofy. And later on, Jessica Rabbit said, "You're better than Goofy." And she knows that's a compliment he's really going to appreciate. So that's good. And Eddie's the only person who's not finding the cartoon funny, and that's because he tells him a Toon killed my brother, and Roger still he didn't know about this before, and but this is different from the last time we learned this information. We get new information that it was a Toon with red crazy eyes and this high pitched laugh, which when we do get the twist later is absolutely exactly we know what he's talking about. We know instantly who he is as soon as we see him because of again Christopher Lloyd's character. Amazing.
Hmm.
You even
And-
recognize him in the alley before then when they fire off the gun with the dum-dums and he runs down the alley and you can tell, oh, it's Judge Doom. You know, because of the
when
silhouette.
he's running off, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. And then Roger Rabbit says, "Oh, that makes sense. Now I know why you hate me." And he's like, "Oh, I don't hate you." And so we're starting to break into the exterior of Eddie and how he feels about Toons because sure, a Toon killed his brother, but that doesn't mean all Toons are bad, right? And
All the time you yanked my
and so he apologizes for yanking his ears, and it's accepted. So I guess that helps their friendship. And Dolores comes into the theater and starts talking about how she's she's helping Eddie. She got all his stuff. She packed up all his stuff and helping him hide from the weasels. So Eddie tells she tells Dolores to find a good man, but she says, "But I already have a good man," and that's sweet. He doesn't hold that kiss that that Jessica Rabbit blew to him over his head. So that's good.
Yeah.
And Roger Rabbit is just staring at them. He's appreciating the love. But so he kind of he so they don't actually kiss because he's just staring at them like this. You might call it a well, and so they leave the theater. And oh wait, but before they leave the theater, there's a newsreader announcement. The Pacific Red Car Trolley Line and the venerated Maroon Cartoon Studios. Here, RK Maroon is seen clinching a deal with Cloverleaf's bankers and executives in one of the biggest real estate deals in California history. So they're going to go check out what Maroon's up to based on this information.
Yeah, that's when Eddie sees it. It's like, that's it. That's the connection.
Exactly. And so Roger Rabbit is supposed to hang out. He's the lookout. If anything happens, he needs to honk the horn 2 times. But he doesn't get a chance to do that because somebody smacks him on the head with the frying pan.
Yep. No, right after he says, no one gets the jump on Roger Rabbit. Bonk.
And then we have Eddie Valiant playing, talking to Maroon, playing or imitating Bugs Bunny.
What's up, Doc?
And Maroon says, "Valiant, what are you trying to do? Give me a heart attack?"
You need a heart before you can have an attack.
Ooh, very cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
That's a good burn. And so then we see that after this, we see that the person who smacked Roger Rabbit over the head was in fact Jessica Rabbit. And she's she throws him in the trunk. And Maroon steals the will from Eddie's pocket. Oh, right. We're not supposed to know that yet, but it's Roger's love letter to Jessica. That's what he steals.
Mm-hmm.
But most people watching this, they've seen this movie before. They know those two things are the same thing.
Oh,
So.
sure.
And
Spoilers.
If Stone Racket were here, yeah, that's what Stone Racket would say. If Stone Racket were here, he'd say spoilers. I put that in my notes a little prematurely. So Eddie is very slowly coming back into caring about tunes again because he uses the seltzer on Maroon, while Maroon is using a gun. So maybe Eddie doesn't hate tunes anymore at this point, if he's using their tactics again.
Yeah, oh yeah, the spray, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Maroon says, I had a chance to sell my studio, but Cloverleaf wouldn't buy my property unless Acme sold them his. The stubborn bastard wouldn't sell. So I was going to blackmail Acme with pictures of him and the rabbit's wife. Blackmail, that's all. I've been around tunes all my life. I didn't want to see them destroyed. So he did it for business. He wasn't trying to be nefarious. And then he gets shot before he could reveal any more information. And Jessica runs away, and we get a chase, another chase. So from one car chase to another car chase, this movie always keeps moving. It's always very fun. And Eddie races after Jessica, and then we're heading to Toontown, but unfortunately, yeah, that sucks. His tie gets stuck in that machine. What is this machine?
How did I just thought of something? The gun that Doom uses to kill Maroon. How did Jessica get her hands on it?
Hmm.
Because I mean she.
Well, Judge.
I'm
Well,
wrong. She doesn't get the gun. She doesn't get the gun. Get her hands on the gun. Does she? How does that scene go?
That's a good question.
I mean, we see the gun lying on the ground. Jessica explained it's the gun that killed Maroon, but no, Doom was coming up behind Eddie and he was going to kill Eddie before she shot at him.
What do you think about that, Kat?
I can't remember either. I didn't have time to rewatch this before the stream, but when they knocked the gun down, she did mention that, but I don't think did she have it?
I don't know. I just know she has a frying pan. I don't.
She definitely has a gun in that scene, but is it the gun?
Maroon dies. That's a good question. It is a good question. Did somebody know? Let's see.
I've never thought
After way too much research, it was Tiny Toons, not Animaniacs, that went into Two-Tone Town. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Burger 414. And I loved both Tiny Toons and Animaniacs. And Cam's Crash Courses says Clobby lives. Yes, Clobby lives. I miss him all of the time. Pat, oh yeah, let's get to that. Speaking of guns, in the next scene, we have Eddie chasing Jessica Rabbit in this car, and he gets a very special gun on his way to Toontown. We find that he's had this gun from, he's had Yosemite Sam's gun. And we get to meet the little bullets. Each little bullet is its own little character, which is kind of sad. Every time you shoot that bullet, then it's gone. But they're not sad about it. So Pat Buttram voices one of those bullets, and I knew this when I heard his voice because he
Oh, yeah.
plays Chief in The Fox and the Hound.
He's had a lot of iconic voices in the Disney canon. He's pretty good.
He is. I don't know which bullet he is, but he's one of them. And this is that turning point. Oh, it'd be great if Scotty returned at this turning point because this is that turning point where we have Eddie Valiant. He's about to drink some liquor, I guess, maybe to ease his to make but I don't know actually why he was going to drink, but he decides not to drink.
And that's the same tunnel from the Back to the Future movies.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right. Where
from part 2, you mean?
Yeah.
The one that that Biff chases Marty down.
Yeah, Biff gets covered in manure.
Yeah, it's right about where Eddie's got his car parked right there, where Biff's car crashes into the manure truck.
That's great.
Wow.
And others
There he is.
Yeah. Pouring it out.
Getting rid of the liquor. And then he shoots a bullet. He just like he's destroying his alcoholism with this bullet. It's a metaphor. And then he drives into Toontown because in Toontown you don't need liquor. Everything is really trippy. Look at this stuff.
Yeah.
And you would think that from fire, I like that he fires the cartoon bullets right after deciding that he's not going to drink anymore because the cartoon bullets are like very drunk themselves.
Oh, are they drunk? I didn't catch
Well,
that.
I mean, their behavior, they're totally, off their rocker.
They are. But I figured that was because of the violence.
That too.
Acme overused gags. I never noticed that before.
Yeah. Well, the birds were distracting him from driving, and that's why he crashed into all of those overused gags. Then
I've never
he takes
noticed
an
that before.
elevator ride with
That's
Droopy the dog.
hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess when you go to Toontown, a part of you becomes a bit cartoony too.
Well, apparently, yeah.
I can't argue with it. Actually, for a while when I was a kid, I used to think that was going to happen to me while I was on an elevator because of this movie. So I would hold on to the rails. I don't want to fly to the ceiling.
You gotta love Droopy here. Old Droopy here. Your floor, sir.
Have a good day.
Watch your steps, sir. Have a good day, sir.
Oh, Dalek nailing it with the Droopy.
Yeah, he definitely did. Well done, Dalek.
Oh, that's amazing.
So,
Nina Hyena. Oh, my stars.
Oh, my God.
Well, he thinks she's Jessica Rabbit. He thinks he's caught up to her because he's been chasing her. And it is not. It is, in fact, not. Not at all.
It's not Jessica.
It's not Jessica. No. It is hilarious though. It is a great she's like Pepe Le Pew, but woman or something. What is this on her neck? Is she a woman? What is it?
Is there an Adam's apple?
Yeah, it looks like there's an Adam's apple. She could be.
Well, you know what? I just appreciate the first appearance of Kathy Griffin on film. Thanks, Kat. I knew someone would get it. You know what? And this is one of my favorite things as well, is that Eddie knows Tweety.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he knows Tweety.
Oh,
hey, Tweety.
Hi, Tweety.
We're not a pity.
Ran out of pieces. But But that's the problem. He's running away from Hyena.
Mina.
Mina Hyena.
I thought it was Lena Hyena.
It's Lena. You're
Is
right.
it? My mistake. My mistake. I'm
You're
an
right.
idiot.
You're right, Dalek. It is Lena.
Is it? Oh, good.
And that's how he ends up in this situation. And he would have been okay, except that he looked down. And that's another one of those cartoon rules. You're
Oh,
not going to
yeah.
fall unless you look down.
Yeah.
Well, and you can't forget that Eddie, this used to be his beat. He used to be all about Toontown.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why he knows Tweety.
Yeah, he used to. Yeah, that's right. That's right. He used to work in Toontown.
Yeah. So this is one of those ridiculous.
What's up, Doc? Jumping without a parachute? Kinda dangerous.
Ridiculous moments. And you know what? I kind of understand the ridiculous moment is that when the agreement came through to have Bugs and Mickey, obviously the golden stars of both Warner Brothers and Disney cartoons being side by side, much like Daffy and Donald earlier, they had to count the lines to ensure that they had equal dialogue, screen time. They had to ensure that there was no favorability between one or the other.
Right. Yeah.
So
which is
stupid when you think about it.
Which wasn't that the deal with all the Disney and Warner Brothers characters? They all had to have equal screen time to all the others
for this movie. And the reason I bring it up is that later on, because these are cartoon characters, but later on, when you get to like the Fast and the Furious movies, there would be such stipulations between The Rock and some other guy. Or the same deal happened with Steve McQueen and Paul. Oh, who was in the Towering Inferno?
Paul
the other guy. Paul Newman and Steve McQueen, same deal. They had equal stars from different studios doing something, and it was like, okay, so how are we going to make this work? Well, it has to be equal screen time.
Well, yeah, and yeah, I did hear about that. And also Warner Brothers had to approve of the designs that were used for their characters. And I think one of them they wanted Warner Brothers wanted to use a different design for
Bugs?
Or Daffy.
Oh.
Earlier, I forgot to mention earlier they wanted to they wanted to make sure they used the Chuck Jones one except for instead of the other one.
Tex Avery, yeah.
And
yeah, but the thing is that as I mentioned before, this is a Tex Avery cartoon. This movie is a Tex Avery. It's not a Chuck Jones.
Let's see, there's a quote here. Where is it? Who's even talking in this book? I don't know who is talking, but they say we were going to get to animate Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse. Oh yeah, okay. Yes, that's what happens.
I like how Mickey says something along the lines of, "Oh, it's kind of mean, poor fella." And one of the reasons that I love Bugs Bunny. Yeah, ain't I a stinker?
So,
Bugs Bunny is not your friend, by the way.
Falling with Mickey and Mouse and Eddie Valiant, he had Bugs flipping the bird at the mouse. When did that happen? What?
Oh no, but this is very different. I was looking up scripts earlier, and there is a very different script. I recommend going and checking out.
Obviously
script.
deleted.
Yeah, well, written but not filmed. There's a lot of stuff that was left that was sort of excised from the film. Whether animated, completed, I don't know. I doubt there's ever going to be a director's cut. But like a lot of the stuff in this movie, until the last minute. It was 1988. They were making changes right up until 4 days before the movie was released.
Oh, I haven't mentioned what book I've been reading yet, but I have one of those deleted scenes that you're talking about, and it's from Pulling a Rabbit Out of the Hat, The Making of Roger Rabbit by, who is it by? I don't know who it's by, but it's a deleted scene from the Ink and Paint Club sequence that showed Bugs Bunny talking discreetly with Walt Disney in a booth. We would have caught
Whoa.
Bugs. We would have caught Bugs saying, "Oh, okay then. I'm going to Warner Brothers." It was not it was not put through animation, but it would have been a fun inclusion. Would have been good.
But I love that sort of meta humor, that idea where the cartoon characters themselves were actors negotiating for their own well-being. Oh, and Lena catches Eddie.
And that could have been
yes,
done.
He's saved.
And the beauty is that could have been that scene could that if that's true, that could have been very possible because actually, well, no, this film was made in the 80s, but it's set in the 1940s. So, yeah.
Oh, it's great.
But it's
right. Exactly.
There's even a joke early in the film about we see Dumbo and Maroon says, "I got him on loan from Disney."
And I like this is the only thing that I don't like in terms of the animation of this movie is that when he does pull up the street divider, the road divider, and tears it and then pulls it into the wall, it doesn't go flush with the wall. I feel like this is the part, like this is something that has always bothered me.
You're right.
As
you're
being
right.
like
I just
almost
noticed
good
that.
enough.
Oh, they must have cut corners somewhere because they were working so hard in so many other parts.
Or maybe that was their intention.
Maybe.
But it's so strange because when you look at it, there is an animated shadow on the wall that cuts perfectly. And so, anyway, I don't know. It always bothered me.
Well, we're going into the scene where Jessica looks like she's pulling a gun on Eddie, but she's not trying to shoot him. She's because Judge Doom is behind Eddie, also with the gun. So this is and so they run.
Here we go.
And Eddie's
Doom
car is missing.
Doom must have dropped the gun.
That's the gun that killed RK Maroon, and Doom pulled the trigger. So, and there you go. It's
just the kind of gun a Doom would use because of such a ridiculously long barrel like that.
Yes.
Well, it reminds me of Jack Nicholson's Joker gun from the end of Batman.
Right, yeah. It's like that.
Oh, Jill, did you want to read this?
Yes, I like this line. I hit him on the head with the frying pan and put him in the trunk, so he wouldn't get hurt. Makes perfect sense. This is the only movie where you can say that line and that makes perfect. It does make perfect sense because you can't hurt a cartoon by hitting him with the frying pan, but you can incapacitate him, and it's to help save Roger Rabbit from being hurt. Whereas being with Judge Doom would kill him because he'd be dipped. And speaking of Roger Rabbit, he stole a car.
Yes.
And is he a better lover than driver? You
better believe it, Buster. Well, and that's also like I love the interaction between Eddie and Jessica. And it's like when Eddie is like, "Tell me, what do you see in him?" And he makes me laugh.
He makes me laugh.
It's true romance, yo. I love it.
Yeah,
makes me feel.
Exactly.
Makes my heart.
Yeah, They just you'd think they'd be the most incompatible people ever, but they work because they just generally love each other through and through.
Well, the entire reason that Jessica goes through with the patty cake is to save Roger, and then oh my god, I love it that even in the Ink and Paint Club, Eddie is like, she is married to Roger Rabbit, and even Betty Boop is like, what a lucky girl.
Yeah,
she is. She does say that.
She does say that. Yeah,
it's true. And so, oh, yes, was Kat gonna say something? I don't know. I thought I heard somebody. Well, anyway, Benny loses his tires because of the dip puddle.
Oh, but
So
this is also, and I know you don't have any slides of it, but this was something that was sort of scandalous back in the day, is that when Benny goes through the dip and then Eddie and Jessica are thrown from the cab, and Jessica sort of skids along the highway being thrown from the cab. There's a bit of an open dress shot between the legs, and that had to be modified for subsequent releases. But there was a panty shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, I've heard about this. Yeah.
I don't know if I must have seen it the first time I watched it, but I wasn't looking for it when I was 4 years old. So
the only thing I was looking at was, never mind, I can't finish the sentence.
You don't have to.
It's not a
thank you.
Well, the internet always provides. So
yeah.
Apparently.
Anybody in the audience who would like to know more about Jessica Rabbit, please look up Jessica Rabbit and then Rule 34. You're going to be disturbed. Come on, man.
Well,
you've done it.
Oh,
don't get judgy.
Following the film's Laserdisc release, it was reported that during the sequence where Jessica is riding through Toontown and gets catapulted from Benny the Cab, viewers can see up Jessica's skirt for 3 whole frames. It's a yeah, you'd have to freeze frame it to get it, but there it is.
Yeah.
You're gonna look it up, seriously?
I already did. I showed
right.
it already. You're not paying attention, so
I know. I've been gone for like hours.
You're already gone. Yeah. So, but you don't have to pay attention. The people who are watching us need to pay attention.
I would absolutely, Jill. I would absolutely love to stay and stay up here until you've finished off the whole film, but and unfortunately I've got a meal waiting for me downstairs, so it's probably getting a bit
you've got tea
cold
time
by now, so I've definitely been here longer than I gotta go and
well
eat,
thanks for sharing some of your day with us, Dalek. I'm glad you could be here.
My pleasure, Jill. Absolutely.
I'll play this one for you
for this movie.
Nice boobies, Red.
Yes, that's good. That's great. That is a great moment.
Well, it's good to see you, Dalek. It's been a while since we got to hang out, so it's great to see you.
Yeah, no, it's been quite a while since I've been here or been anywhere outside of King Dolphin TV. I've been, especially even on my own channel, I've been absent for over a month. Well, actually, nearly 2 months now. God, I need to get back in the swing of things with that.
Sometimes you do have to pay attention to real life for a little while, and things get kerfuffled.
Well, the thing is, Jill, what's been keeping me away is it's mostly I've been getting very distracted by video games a lot lately. just yesterday I went out and bought quite an expensive game or not a game, a collection of games I've been really excited for.
Oh, well, that's good. I hope you have a lot of fun playing those. Is that what you're going to do after tea?
Yeah, I've been playing them quite a bit since yesterday. I've been having fun. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, okay. But it's good to see you again, Dalek, and I hope to see you around some more. And we'll catch you around. Do you want to talk about your channel?
I'll still be watching while I'm eating. I'll speak. I'll give my thoughts in the chat.
Okay. Okay. Are you going to be streaming this week, or is anything coming up for you? You want to share?
That depends. If I find the time to live stream, because I've actually been not just video gaming. I've actually been pretty busy in general. I've got this new thing I've been doing twice a week, so that's been taking up a lot of time, and as like I said, the whole thing with video games as well. And
are you happy?
Yeah, I'd say because
that's good.
Yeah, but still, I need to. I do definitely need to
Tiger Stripes. That wasn't the whole live stream. It was just 5 minutes. But well, I mean, and of course that's part of it. Jessica Rabbit is meant to be that kind of character, but anyway. Oh, she's not bad. She's just drawn that way. Anyway,
come on, Tiger Stripes.
It's just an interesting artifact, and I think even if you do find that disturbing, it was fixed. It was removed on subsequent releases of the film. But anyway, Dalek, it was really great to see you, and I hope to see you again. Yes. And I'll let you go now, and we're gonna continue with the movie. I'll talk to you later, Dalek.
Yeah, like I said, I'll be in the chat. I'll still be watching, but I do have to go. So I'll hope to see you again soon, and bye for now.
Bye.
High five, Donkey Kong.
Yeah. But anyway.
Also, Tiger Stripes, in this particular situation, it is a satire of the objectification of women. That is what created Jessica Rabbit in the first place. Again, based on her dialogue. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. She is a rational woman. She is she has what do you call it? Fidelity. She has loyalty to Roger.
She saves Roger.
Yeah.
She saves his life more than once.
I had to hit him over the head with a frying pan. Throw him in a trunk, so he doesn't get hurt. Like, she is amazing. And I think that you underestimate Jessica Rabbit because she is so attractive in the eye of the male gaze. So if you want to be precious about it, you go to town, Chuck.
I think she had more of a problem at freeze framing her than the Jessica herself.
Yeah, but come on. If you're even a half decent writer, you can rule 34.
Oh, and
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Daniel Side Topics is here. Got the weasels getting bear trapped, and
I'm not going to get upset about sex existing.
Eyeballs everywhere to trip on, and Roger Rabbit has been fired from driving. He's not good at it. So the car is going to drive a car. I love that. The car is driving. Cars are the best drivers. Ew. Oh, no, I can't say that. Now I'm thinking about artificial intelligence driving.
Oh, no, it's a Cybertruck. Benny the Cab in the 21st century is a Cybertruck. Can we keep going?
Yeah.
Daniel's Hot Topic says, I watched this movie like so many times, I lost count. It is, again, like I have to say, I think I've been neglectful in terms of saying that this is one of my favorite movies. I watch it probably more reverentially and more nostalgically than most movies. I put this on the same level as Back to the Future, another Robert Zemeckis. I put this up with Star Trek II. I put this up with Back to the Future.
Oh.
This, Star Trek II. What else?
And
do
I also want to
put
say hello
Blade
to
Runner.
Christian
Yeah, this is
Fandom
one of my
Geek.
favorite movies.
Hey, Christian Fandom Geek.
Hello, Christian Fandom.
Thank you, Franco, for letting me know he's here. I know I missed some of the chat. Booker says, I gotta go, getting ready for vacation, going to visit Mickey. Oh, really? You're going to Disney World?
Did you
Right.
just win the Super Bowl or something?
I think they go to Disneyland.
Oh, that makes sense.
So then.
I love the image where Roger is holding the gun and Benny is like, watch where you're pointing that thing.
Hold on, I'm missing my notes. Where are they? Here they are. And yeah, right. He's not trying to shoot Benny. It just looks that way. It's just he's
Roger
just
doesn't know how to work a gun.
Exactly. That's correct.
This is one of the best things about this. And again, going back to what Tiger was saying, don't objectify Jessica Rabbit. And because she has been presented as one of the most gorgeous, unbelievable female tunes, lady tunes, when she gets terrified and says, oh my God, it's Dip! Like, they make it so that she is so terrified that she is ugly. Because she is scared of Dip.
Scared. I don't think she looked ugly. Let me see.
Well, I don't know. Go
Oh,
back.
okay.
Go back.
Let me see. Well, she looks scared, but it was an outrageous, and everything was exaggerated.
Maybe not ugly, but an extreme facial expression.
It was very extreme. Yeah. The hotness. Yeah, right. If you can talk about that. It's her being
Well,
scared.
it causes her to break character like it does all the other tunes.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got it here. Okay. I got this right here. And then I can unmute my screen.
Oh my God, it's dead!
Oh my God. Oh my stars. There are so many parallels, so many terrifying things that I could reference, but I can't because I think that Jessica's face says it all.
It does. If you didn't know the terrifying nature of the Dip, you just need to listen to her. And of course, we get more of the weasels now that we're back at the factory.
Here we are.
And yeah, here we are. Let's see. I see a place
love
where
this.
people get on and off the freeway.
8 lanes.
I see a place where people get off and off the freeway.
Echo.
Mm-hmm. Well, and he, of course, it's fun to hear him rap about what's going to happen later in the future that is already happening in the 80s.
Well, not just the 80s, but of the time that it was made. Again, this was a real world controversy with infrastructure disagreements, and Eddie Valiant representing the common man, being like, why the hell would we worry about cars and freeways when we have a perfectly good public transportation system? And then Judge Doom is saying, yeah, we're going to buy it and we're going to take it apart because fuck you. That's why.
Yep. He wants Toontown to be gone to build a freeway. That's the ticket for our villain this time.
But again, it's an infrastructure, civic reality. Like, for a tune. And even Eddie says it, and he's like, that's harebrained, even for a tune. Like, all of this, it builds to something ridiculous from a basis of reality. One of the best film noirs ever.
I had echo again because I unmuted my thing. So
I see a place where people get on and off the freeway.
there. Now you got it without
rapidly prepared food.
And Valiant's like, a freeway? What the hell's a freeway? So it doesn't even register to him as a thing.
See, I'm Canadian. Can you guys explain to me what a turnpike is?
It's basically it doesn't lead anywhere. It's like a loop, except it has a lot of on-ramps and off-ramps connecting certain areas. But it's not like a through street.
And a freeway is just a highway.
Yeah, it just goes on
to the next town.
Yeah, and then
I hate those loops.
I love the loops. I love the loops.
They get confusing sometimes.
Yeah, well.
And I missed my exit and I had to do a turnaround. It's awful.
Inexpensive motels. Like, I love his sort of grand scheme, and it sounds so mundane from even from an audience of 1988. It's like, oh no.
And rich guys wanting to get richer at the expense of the little guy, just as relevant then as it is today.
True.
Very true.
And as true as
Truly
it was in 1947.
Yes, it's me, my dearest. I'd love to. But first, I have to satisfy my sense of moral.
My sense of moral outrage. I didn't get the whole thing. So sorry about that.
No, it was good. It was good.
And the whole line is, yes, it's me, my dearest. I'd love to embrace you. But first, I have to satisfy my sense of moral outrage. And so there's some fighting.
They fight.
Well, Roger Rabbit wants to fight, but he gets hit by a ton of bricks.
You wouldn't know with a good feeling. I don't know the exact quote.
So he finally
with
sees
a ton of bricks.
He finally sees the stars that he couldn't see earlier in the film. This is also another setup and payoff. So it's a setup for a joke. And it's good. So there's lots of that in this movie. I think that's what makes a good movie, is all the setups and payoffs. I guess these help. It's a lot of fun.
That's my perspective.
I've loved you more than any woman's ever loved a rabbit.
We toons may act idiotic, but we're not stupid.
Aren't you?
One of these days, you idiots are gonna laugh yourselves to death.
I believe that is
One
my.
of these days, you idiots are gonna laugh yourselves to death.
Yes, that is your cue. That is where Eddie gets his idea to make the weasels laugh themselves to death.
which has again been set up throughout the movie.
It has another setup, more payoffs.
Like with Smartass, he's been like, "Stop that laughing." He's very upset.
Yes.
So, do I just go? What do we do?
Yeah, you can
What's the
just
score
go.
here?
But do I need to help with anything?
Yeah, I did put something.
Okay, you're gonna put it in the private chat for us. Yes. Okay, great. Let's do it.
Well, from what I got, hang on a second. This is what happens when I don't show up to rehearsal.
Well, he puts on Merry-Go-Round broke down, so the song
No,
from earlier.
shut up. You're stealing my best bits.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll be Jessica.
Giving me my lines, or do I need to read them myself for my own
Well,
script?
no, it's in the private chat.
Nothing's in the private chat.
Yeah, no, it is in the private chat.
What's in the private chat?
Your one line, it's between the notes. Here, I can paste it again. You want to paste it
Please
again?
paste it again because I don't. Oh,
I did it
that's what I
again.
say. Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's what you say.
I thought you were telling me you had to leave.
No, that's your line.
Okay, let's go.
Thing. You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. That's a good point.
What's happening?
Don't worry about a cat. You might have to be Roger Rabbit.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Okay. So here, you know what? We're going to do this all verbally because I'm not paid. So
okay,
anyway,
I'm
going to be Eddie
I can
Valiant.
do my line. I can do my
I'm Eddie
line now.
Valiant. I'm Eddie Valiant. All right.
Okay. Yes.
Cat, when I'm done, you say you got a problem with that, Valiant? Okay.
When will you be done? I don't know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, but just you got a problem with that, Valiant? So just remember that.
I'll remember. I don't know when to say it, but I'll figure it out.
Okay. Everything's funny to you, ain't it, Needle Nose? Go.
Yeah, funny to you, Valiant?
No, I just wanted to tell you something about the guy you're gonna dip. At which point, Eddie Valiant leans on a calliope that starts playing Merry-Go-Round Broke Down. He starts being as wacky as you could possibly be. Let's not forget that Eddie Valiant has been the most serious, hard-nosed private detective in the world. But now he starts jumping around. He starts dancing. He says, now Roger is his name. Laughter is his game. Come on, you dope, untie his rope and watch him go insane. Boop, 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 boop. He picks up, like he goes in, again, we're in Acme's warehouse. So he picks up a bunch of bombs. They look like bowling balls, but whatever, it's cartoon logic. He starts juggling them, and it's really funny. Like none of the even what's his name? Smartass is like, what's going on? We've never seen anything like this, boys. So he's juggling bombs and they all hit him on the head. He slips back on a banana peel and he walks backwards into an entire stack of boxes that are inexplicably there. But again, it's the Acme warehouse. So what are you going to do? So Jessica says,
I'm running out of time.
No. Jessica says he's lost his mind.
He's lost his mind.
And then Roger says, Kat, you're going to be Roger. He says, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Come on, put a little heart into it.
I didn't think so.
Thank you.
No,
that's fine. That's fine. No, that worked. That worked. God damn it. We've worked together for 3 years and you still don't understand.
Oh, you didn't tell me we were doing any of this.
I know.
And it's not working, so let's just go on with the regular review.
I think it's working.
No. It's great. I'm enjoying it.
This singing ain't my line. It's tough to make a rhyme. If I get stuck, I'm out of luck and I'm Jill.
I'm running out of time.
Thanks. And then there's a bunch of like dancing, singing, falling. There's a pogo stick thing that happens. There's laughing, choking. Like at this point, like all of the weasels are laughing themselves to death. We've got Stupid, who he dies, and there's a tulip that emerges from his chest. And then Wheezy dies from not lung cancer, obviously, because he's a cartoon character. And
Well, that's the
we've
thing. They're not
already
really
established.
dying, they're just turning into ghosts, meaning they can't pose a threat anymore.
Well, don't get so ahead of yourself, because Psycho, he poses a threat after he dies. And so everybody is really, and also Kat, you have to say, hey, Eddie, keep it up. You're killing him. You're killing him. Knock him dead. Say that.
Hey, Eddie, keep it up. You're killing him. Knock him dead.
I'm through with taking falls. I'm bouncing off the walls. Without that gun, I'd have some fun, and I'd hit you in the Cat.
Balls.
Nose.
No, I can't remember. I told you I
See,
didn't watch
Jill
it.
gets it.
I have the script up. You know
Oh,
what?
you have the script. Nice.
Should I just put it in the private chat?
That's too
No.
late. This isn't working.
No, it's working fine. It's fun.
Really not. I didn't rehearse it.
Yeah, this is what
we've
happens
never
when you
had to
don't show
rehearse
up
it
at
before.
Universal. So, Kat, can you just say, that don't rhyme with walls?
That don't rhyme with walls.
No, but this does. And then Eddie kicks Smartass in the balls. So the best part about that is that all of the weasels, they die of laughing, which has been sort of telegraphed from the beginning of the film. And the last one, the best one, Psycho, the one in the straitjacket, dies in the dip machine through like the street cleaner brush. And then as Psycho rises as a ghost after falling over the controls of the dip machine, does flip the switch back to point the dip gun back at Roger and Jessica, still keeping our protagonists in peril, which is amazing. So what do you think? 6 out of 10? 5 out of 10?
For what?
Performance. 4.
Franco Walker gives you
Not even
several
a
hand
4?
claps. What? Did I have to? No, I enjoyed it. I loved it. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 hand claps from Franco Walker. Please
16
subscribe,
claps.
hit the bell.
Yes.
Hit share. Hit like live chat. I do appreciate any subscriptions. That is very helpful for my channel. I wish I hadn't left the panel now. You needed me. Oh damn. Well, that's
Also, don't forget to buy me a She-Hulk.
Daleks. That's a Daleks review. Anyway, we weren't finished with the what's going on. Doom pulls out a sword to duel with Eddie, and Eddie's got this giant. He also had a cartoon sword that didn't help very much. It just sang a Sinatra song. So then he pulls out a magnet, but that ends up not working. In fact, it ends up becoming his own prison. So he gets wrapped around the magnet. Debilitates Eddie. He's stuck and he's attached to a barrel. And so that looks like the end of Eddie. He's about to be squished by a steamroller, but Eddie uses the cartoon hole to escape from the
Which
magnet.
again was set up earlier in the movie. Portable hole.
Yes, they were just playing with it earlier, but now it's actually being used. And then they have that classic comedy bit of getting glue involved, and so you're trying to get the glue off of you, but then you end up getting stuck with another part of your body.
I think this movie made me unrealistically reliant on glue.
And
if there was
have
glue,
you used this?
well, not that kind of glue. But I just figured that all glue was immediately an adhesive. Like you didn't have to wait long.
Well, in that case, you're looking for a glue gun. If you want glue like that.
Well, I live in Canada. We're not allowed to have guns.
That's disappointing. Even glue guns?
It is. Yeah, no, they've been banned.
Okay. Water guns?
No.
Yeah, I know you can have Nerf guns.
No, I smuggled that because of a Texan.
I didn't know I was an arms dealer.
I wasn't worried.
Anyway,
Were you?
That entire past minute was all silly.
Yeah, don't forget to download this stream because we've already been copyright strucken.
Okay, so then we got Judge Doom being run over by the steamroller, and this is how it is revealed that he's a Toon. And not just any Toon. He's the Toon who... Well, I have a clip for it, so let's play it.
Yeah, play the...
Kill your brother! I talk!
Just! Oh my God. Not only does Christopher Lloyd sell that, but also the terror in Bob Hoskins' eyes. Like everything about this is, again, it's a culmination not only of the story that we're watching, but also the history that has been presented about Eddie Valiant. Like this is, again, I'm going to say it again. It's a perfect movie. If you don't like it, I think you're racist. Against
That doesn't
Toons.
make any
Against
sense.
Toons.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Might be what that means. And so let's see what's happening. Oh, they're still, yeah, so he's still full of glue on his feet, so he can't move. I guess.
Well, he's already been run over. Can
He's
you
already been
imagine
squished. Yeah. Oh, that's
being
right. This
run
is where
over
he
by a
was.
steamroller? That'd be terrible.
Oh, he uses the machine to pump himself back up because he was all flattened. That's what happens in that scene.
Yes.
Like, what's happening here?
I've never seen this movie. I can't wait.
Okay, you've never seen it. You have seen it.
What?
And so, yeah, so he stops pretending he's human and he uses all his cartoon powers, bouncing around with his little springs and his anvil for an arm, for a hand, and buzzsaw. He's got everything now.
Well, and all like he's got the ultimate superpowers.
He does.
But
he's
again,
about to saw Eddie in half.
They've established that being a maniacal Toon, being an evil Toon, is sort of, it's an aberration. Toons are supposed to make people happy. That's the entire reason.
They're supposed to entertain. And in this case, it's not what he wants to do. We're not supposed to have a Toon who's like a Bond villain who wants to destroy current transportation systems.
Kill your brother.
I guess maybe it's not as big as, well, yeah.
But
here
again,
we got
at the opening when we had Mustache Man being like, "You're just a drunk, Eddie Valiant. Didn't you used to be Eddie Valiant?" And he was using the punching fist mallet. We reintroduce that again because we know what that is, and then it hits the dip machine, And yeah,
and that's how we get rid of our villain. Yeah, that's
yeah. Let's get justice for that shoe.
Yeah. So yeah, justice for the shoe. It hits the spigot, and it fires a blast of dip
in his face, neck and chest. Oh, I love this.
The whole time, Jessica and Roger have to dodge the dip that's flying at them, and in this case, now they can just watch it destroy Judge Doom.
Well, and also, like, because the entire movie is about the infidelity of Jessica Rabbit and the forlorn love of Roger Rabbit, when they are tied up together to be killed, they are working together to save one another. And I do really enjoy the fact that, yeah, Roger and Jessica are in love and they're married. Like, I love the relationship between Roger and Jessica.
Yes, right. And everything, what saves them is Roger's love for Jessica in writing that love letter. And it being carried out throughout the film and being kept.
Fuck the Wizard of Oz.
No, it's great. And it works perfectly.
No, I hate the Wizard of Oz. It's not your problem.
But it's being used as a reference from the Wizard of Oz to...
Yes.
But it makes sense because it's acid and he is melting. There's nothing wrong about it. It's a perfect reference.
Well, and you look at this in terms of the geography of the set with the ton of bricks that are still there, all of the dip all over the floor. Like, everything about this geographically, this is beautiful. And even, I love that. When the Dipmobile goes through into Toontown, it is immediately hit by a train. And it's like, okay, that's gone. Like, cartoon logic reigns supreme.
Well, and also everything was hiding these two trees that were like making out, and now they're just like, oh yeah, we better stop doing that.
But that's
No, all right. And then of course we see that the Toon was covering his cartoon face with a rubber mask.
And there we go with the moth who got strangled. Like Eddie's best friend, or Eddie's friend from the police. Police. So who do we got here? We got Goofy, we got Dopey, we got Betty Boop, Bugs. There's Peter and the Wolf, Daffy, Pinocchio, Baby Herman, Bambi, Minnie and Mickey, Tweety, Yosemite Sam. Okay.
There we are. Oh, I see Pluto in the background too. It's kind of hidden.
Well, we don't acknowledge Pluto anymore because of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That's silly.
It is silly. But this is also a cartoon, so I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. There's one of the Caballero parrots. Oh, there's the wolf. Oh my God. This is a cornucopia. I can't believe. Look at the look in the eye of Wile E. Coyote standing next to the Roadrunner.
They even got a creepy clown in the background there on the right.
That's Bozo.
It just looks creepy with the eyes.
It is super creepy. I was disturbed by it too, Kat. You're not wrong.
Speedy Gonzalez is there?
Yes, Speedy. I noticed him.
He looks a little different.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what the angel's from.
Look right.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the angel harp thing is from.
I like how all of the cartoon characters are like, I wonder what Doom was. And it's like, it wouldn't be a rabbit or a woodpecker, or a wooden boy or a sheep. And even the sheep takes off the sheep clothing and reveals itself to be a wolf.
And we have Marvin the Martian too.
Is Marvin there? I didn't even see. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Yeah, for sure.
For some reason, his hat is usually has a green helmet instead of
gray.
Gray.
Well, it's like J.J. Abrams. They had to make it 25% different.
Well, and then to wrap everything up, they find out that the disappearing ink also reappears, and so that love letter that Roger has been carrying around, everybody's been carrying around throughout the movie, is actually the will. And so Toontown is saved, and the Toons own Toontown thanks to the will. And Jessica Rabbit is gonna.
I'll bake you a carrot cake.
But this is the thing, and this is the thing that I think ties the whole movie together. That's it right there, is that there's a moment where Eddie is like gonna backhand and be his old sourpuss self to Roger, and everyone sort of recoils, they gasp. And it's like, Eddie, don't tell me you lost your sense of humor. And Eddie like says, what do you mean? Like this? And then he kisses him. And that's when everything is okay. Not only has he redeemed or proven the innocence of Roger Rabbit, ensured the safety of Toontown, but Eddie Valiant himself he's almost forgiven Toons because of the justice done against the one Toon that killed his brother.
Yes.
What's
so
up?
His sense of humor is not just not gone, it is fully restored. He is himself again.
The only thing that's lacking from this end scene is that I wish that Dolores was there. I'm sure she is.
Yeah, that would have been great because they got to go on their vacation. They got to go.
We got to go to
Catalina. Maybe she's out. Maybe she's out buying her swimsuit.
Oh, I thought Dolores was standing with him next to him.
What do you mean?
You know what? I didn't get a chance to see the end of this movie because I had a lot of homework.
What do you mean she's not there? Yes, she is.
Yeah, Dolores.
Right, stop yelling at me, you fucking Dalek. What? You're
yeah, there she is. There she is, right there.
There she is.
Right.
She's been there the whole time.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, then I'm wrong. What do you want? Cookies?
No, just an acknowledgement that you're wrong. So
I am wrong. I am very wrong. I've been wrong this entire time.
So that everybody knows that she is there and that this movie is perfect.
This movie is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Smile, gorgeous smile, 'cause the whole world is a good world after all. And then, if this weren't perfect enough, we get Porky Pig.
That's all, folks.
Oh, and who stops Porky but Tinkerbell, who is just historically known to put a button on everything. Tinkerbell swings around and goes boop on Porky Pig's nose, and then it's over.
Yeah.
If you have never experienced joy, people of the internet, and you would like to find out what that is like, I would recommend that you purchase a Blu-ray or rent or pirate Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It'll make you feel good. It'll make you feel bad. It'll fill your heart with everything that you need. This is your fully rounded Saturday morning breakfast.
Yep. Yeah, with the sugary cereal and everything. Your well-balanced breakfast. That's cute. Gosh, I miss good Saturday morning cartoons. Turnpikes are roads that charge a toll to use. Freeway is free to travel on. Actually, the term first used in the 1700s in the States. Thank you, Cam Cam. And here
Yeah.
are the claps from Franco Walker. Lance from the Outcast Creative says, I first saw this in 1988 on my first visit to the States. When it opened in the UK, I took 10 people to see it, but 14 people turned up and it was sold out. I gave up my ticket. Oh, wow. That's really kind of you. And the four
Also,
of
it
us
was
went
kind
to
of,
see
yeah, you
The
should have
Hidden
gone.
instead, which I had also seen in the USA and knew it was good. Well, he saw it eventually. He just
Oh, that's
he had to
good.
wait a little while.
Well, I
Yeah.
saw it on VHS, so what do I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure I did too. I don't know how I saw it. Somebody put it on for me.
Also, check out the Outcast Creatives video from last night. He did an excellent tribute to Gene Hackman in terms
Yes.
of a great collective of film aficionados discussing their favorite and best Gene Hackman films. So thanks.
Yes, and I wasn't laughing at that in particular, but yes, and definitely check that out. What I was laughing at is that Lance also says at Stream Elements, thanks for the plug, man. You should really come on sometimes. So, but that would be weird. He's so good at getting interviews. I wouldn't be shocked if he could get robots to be interviewed. When I first saw the film in the USA, I went to the mall on my day off and saw 4 films in a row that day. Wow.
Oh.
In the
Nice.
cartoons, it was always gum Arabic they used, says Gavin Blackburn. They were Die Hard, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Jill Rabbit.
Why does it say Jill Rabbit?
I don't know.
Bull Durham and Midnight Run.
I will put those in order. I will say Die Hard, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, then Midnight Run, then Bull Durham. I prefer Tin Cup.
Oh no, I forgot about the cute shoe. Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it had to die. It had to die.
Well, because Judge Doom is a jerk.
Well, no, in terms of the narrative of the film,
Yeah.
you had to find
Well,
out.
Well, functionally, yes.
Yes.
Technically, it's like a red shirt.
Also, I don't think it didn't look like a comfortable shoe.
Well, I don't know. Like, who would wear those shoes anyway? Just another tune.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And so then, cheers, Scotty. I'm still so upset about Gene. No other person in the industry had a greater influence on my life and career.
Gene Hackman is up there with Sean Connery. If there is a possibility of seeing them perform, yeah. Rest your soul, Gene.
Was Gene Hackman the guy who played Lex Luthor in the Christopher Reeve Superman films?
Yes.
I thought he was.
Yeah, and he's awesome. And rest in peace. So
You're putting me Midnight Run at second? You're
order of
Sometimes
preference,
I
Die Hard
don't
is best.
understand the British.
Midnight Run, Roger Rabbit, and Bull Durham. Only watched that one time. So, guys, I've got to run.
Whatever.
I used up all of my time. I was hoping.
Are we done? Is it over?
Well, what I was
Oh.
hoping was going to happen was that we were going to get done early so I could read my book more, because there's a lot of drama that happened. Like a lot of as creative as it is, as beautiful as it is, as perfect as it is, behind the scenes was not perfect. people were upset at each other. The animators and the writers, they were clashing, and oh, we're filming this movie as if it's a real movie. And so a lot of the tricks they usually use for animation to real life integration couldn't be used. They had to invent things to to, to make this
Cameras
happen.
even.
And oh yeah, there was that thing that I was playing earlier. This thing. This
So, well, huh?
I remember seeing this really. Maybe not. Maybe not. If you need to wrap up the stream, John, maybe I shouldn't get into anything.
Yeah, get into it.
I was just saying about it. I just remembered that not that long ago, I saw this really messed up deleted scene from the film. Where like I think it's the Weasels. They do something really awful to Eddie. They kind of literally kind of like throw him into Toontown, through the tunnel into Toontown, and when he gets out, when Eddie gets out, he's got this horrendous cartoon pig's head on his head.
Yeah. No, I've seen that. And the thing is, and I appreciate it, although it is a little abstract and weird, but they throw him into Toontown and be like, you're a pig, in pig being a vernacular for being a cop. And so it's all effed up and surreal. I'm glad they took it out, but it is an available deleted scene.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, I have not seen the deleted scenes for this movie, so that's something I can do later today. But for now, I do have to run. I hate that I always have to run before I can just, relax and enjoy what I just discussed, because this was amazing. And
You're not late, you're just drawn that way.
Yeah, basically. But if you're interested in some racy humor and some fun thing to do, Trev Retro is going to be streaming in about 20 minutes. Or wait, when 30 minutes, 20 minutes. No, I was right the first time.
He's going to be wetting his underoos about Kathleen Kennedy or something.
Yes. Well, maybe not. I think it'll be fine. It'll be fun. He'll be talking about all the different possibilities.
I've been there a lot. I'm a fan.
Oh, speaking of,
I'm just like, who cares? Who cares at this point?
I'm with you. Jill, what were you saying?
Everybody's been going him and hawing back and forth on when is she out? Is she not out? Whatever. That's been going on for so long. It's just like, who cares anymore?
Well, she's not out.
Yeah,
she's
I don't really care.
Married. She's a heterosexual woman.
Those channels live and die off that clickbait crap.
It's just fun news stuff. So I don't want to disparage any YouTube channels here in any particular way, but they're just having fun talking about things.
And even
I want to disparage the Phantasmagorium show because I don't like that Scotty R37.
And even if she does go, let's face it, the damage is done. And it would still be under Disney, so it would change nothing.
Look, there's her name in the credits. So we'll see you guys later. I'll talk to you guys next time.
There you go.
I don't really know what she did for this movie, but she's on the.
She was an executive producer for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which means that Kathleen Kennedy has been responsible for, at least in an executive production capacity, for a lot of your cinematic history. She has been a contributor to a lot.
Same for I know. Same for Back to the Future too.
Well, but how good
and
was
Back
she
to the
without?
Future 1.
Has she ever done anything?
I meant
that was
all
great
all the Back to the Future films.
My God, I'm trying to get out a question and I can't.
Let's get out of here.
No, but has she ever done anything super great without Steven Spielberg's help?
Yeah.
I can only think. Well,
I'm just curious.
I don't think that's a fair question.
Okay. In any case, I do have to go. So I'm gonna Yeah, I did because I was trying to get out a sentence and you weren't allowing me to.
I'm sorry,
And it's my
Jill.
show. That's okay. That's okay. But I do have to go.
It's okay.
And,
You're
well,
British.
things just got really interesting. I wish I could stay for another hour and a half. But now that
Don't
I've
forget, the
got-
British
got
are genetically inferior.
no, they're not. Scotty.
Yes, they
Quit being
are.
racist.
I can't help it. They're white.
Oh my god.
Assimilate this.
All right. Okay. You're I don't want to end on that. My god.
No, we shouldn't.
We did an amazing stream about Who Framed
What
Roger
would how
Rabbit,
many
and Scotty
how
would
many
not.
Toontowns would you give this movie, Jill? Out of
How many
10, how many
Toontowns?
Toontowns?
9.
Cat,
Hey,
how many
it's 10.
Toontowns?
10.
Dalek, how many Toontowns?
Perfect 10 all the way.
And I'm a 10. Well, I'm not, but this movie is.
This movie is, yeah. I don't even know why I went for 9. I just wanted to be, maybe that, you know.
You can give it an
I'm gonna
8.
end it. No, the 8's too
Let's
low.
get out of here.
I do want to get out of here, but I'm gonna play something special at the very, very end. So stay
Okay.
all the way for the end.
All right.
I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
Just for the style of it, ooh, the smile of it. Just for the love of it, Diet Coke. Just for the taste of it.
Roger, what are you doing here? Please, Eddie. I just came to see Jessica and to have a Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
She's a nut that drives a toon loony.
Diet Coke and Roger Rabbit at a theater near